Confessions.
Incoming transmission. Accessing database. Identification acquired. Welcome back, user. Nerd Confessions will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Nerd Confessions, our safe haven where we discuss our thoughts and opinions on everything nerdy, geeky, techie, and whatever. It's been a week since our last confession, but before we jump right into it, we'd like to remind our listeners that they can follow us on our various social media platforms, find previous episodes, and view bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. I'm William, the moderator for this episode, and I'm joined today by Sohail.
Hello.
Ellie.
Hi.
Ellie.
Hi.
Tommy.
Greetings.
In this episode,
Count Chocula.
Yeah, switching up a little.
In this episode, we'll be talking about the latest nerd news, the PlayStation experience, and the Game Awards for 2016. So for starters, let's see what everybody's been up to this week. Sohail, what's new with you?
All right. So there's a lot going on in the last couple of weeks. We did a lot of stuff together. PSX is one of them, which was a big deal in the beginning of December. I also played a bunch of games this week. I don't know why I was playing so many games. It must have been the PSX that did it for me. We also went to a little get-together that I don't really want to talk about, but we got to a get-together.
Not as cool as you thought it would be.
Not as cool as I thought it would be. MLB 2016, the show is what I've been playing. Far Cry Primal. Headlander, which is a free game I got at PSX, which is actually pretty fun. The Mayo game, which was the first platinum I got because I suck at getting platinums.
All those platinums.
And I've been getting ready for Rogue One by watching some trailers.
Cool. Ellie, what did you do this week?
I don't sound as cool because I don't have a long list. Just 3 things.
Are they really good things?
I guess, yeah. I went to the Game Awards show 2016.
That's cool.
Yep. That was cool.
Are you sure it was this year?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I didn't go back to the future.
Okay. Just check.
Yeah, and then on PlayStation Experience, and I watched the movie Moana.
How do you say that?
Moana.
Moana.
Marijuana.
Moana? What?
She got that Pineapple Express. Is that what you're trying to come up with? No. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, I don't understand. I don't want to.
I also have been growing my beard. That is also something I have been doing.
Yeah,
It continues to go longer and longer and is fluffy.
It's weird. It's actually matching your hair length on your head.
Yep, it's getting weird.
Are you gonna grow it
be
longer?
a full-on rug soon.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna grow it longer?
What's your goal?
I just want to let it grow until it stops growing.
Oh my god.
Well, it's not going to happen.
Well, we'll see what
He's gonna be
happens.
You
that
should just grow
wise
it
old man.
until they say something at work.
It's already going to happen.
It's already going to happen.
Lots of terrorist comments are coming.
I'll just let it grow until it stops.
Okay.
Are you gonna donate your beard?
Can you do that?
No.
You can if it's a certain length.
I don't think anybody wants this.
Can you
It's
imagine?
not like it's thick. It's
Can
not as thick as like some people's beards. I could see that, but I don't know.
It's fluffy though. It's
Can you
not
starting to
imagine?
get there.
It's not.
Getting a beard or a wig made out of beard hair?
It could be extensions.
So think of it this way: beard
like
hair is
pubic hair.
usually really coarse, right, and very like thick. My hair is really soft, like top head hair. It's weird.
I don't know. It looks pretty
Soft.
rugged.
Oh well,
hair.
you haven't touched it yet. You want to touch it?
No, thank you.
Okay, just
Tommy.
checking.
What did you do this week?
This week, I visited the PlayStation Experience for the first time, and I got a full-on blast of the actual PlayStation 4 and 4 Pro, considering I haven't played the PlayStation
Was it in
since
the face?
2000.
Was it in the face?
I don't get it, but I'm moving on.
You said I got a full-on blast, and I said, did you in the face?
No,
Was it the first convention you've been to?
it was the first gaming convention I've been to.
Mine too.
Yeah, no, it's just I haven't played on a PlayStation since PlayStation 2, and then going and getting kind of like all the new features of the PlayStation.
Well,
for me.
you had a PlayStation 4 before you went to the PlayStation experience.
Yeah, I got it just recently. Then I still you didn't get the full experience. It's grown so much, and so just going to a gaming event like that was pretty cool. And then I played a lot of games while I was there, or at least tried them out. And then I also went back to the homeland of playing Ark. Yes, you heard it first. And I won't stop until I'm done with it.
So I don't think it ever ends.
It doesn't. There's actually
So that's
an end.
why you
there's an
lie-
end
you
game.
lie.
It just takes forever to get there, and they're always adding new
No,
stuff.
there's
Are you
never
halfway?
an end.
Yeah, actually.
No, he could end game it now. He just decides that he would want to
That's
play.
called quitting, and we don't quit. We're too legit to quit.
So there's no
it
end.
just
No,
dropped.
there is an end. There's
no end.
There's a physical end to the game.
Well, he
It's
just
that
said he doesn't want to quit.
the game
Exactly.
the game ends once you defeat like several bosses. But
it's called game over.
Instead of ending those bosses and ending his game, it continues after that. It's like
No, it
when
doesn't.
you-
You're done.
can't you go back into that server and play again?
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah,
It's the same as restarting Mario.
Yeah,
what the
that's,
hell?
that's what I meant. It's the same thing.
Can't you just create a new game
So
and
that's
play it
what-
again?
okay,
Yes.
Can you relax? Jeez Louise.
He's
So-
attacking each other.
I was saying
I'm
it's
attacking them.
the end game. It's like you play the game and you know how at the end of the game, like in Mad Max, you beat the game.
You can go back and
you
collect
go back
everything,
and do
yeah.
everything you want.
So he's
It's the
love
same
everything
thing
that
there.
you have.
There
You're
is
just
an
playing.
end game, but it's not truly an end game.
We got it.
Well, it's not a quest-based game.
I understand. I'm just saying there is an end thing where you fight 3 end bosses. It's just that it doesn't do anything for you at the end. The
Okay.
game continues. I'm
But
just saying
who
the game
cares?
continues. But
Yeah.
who
Well,
cares?
what does that matter?
No, I mean, like, who cares?
Okay,
About Ark.
so
Damn.
Shut up! You never even played it. You don't even get to
That game
talk.
is played by unemployed
You
people.
are anti-Jurassic Park. Go ahead.
okay, so what I did this week, I did the PlayStation experience. I went to the Game Awards. I went to the party we should not speak of, but I'll just go ahead and say it.
Oh,
The
yeah, I went to
Razor
that
party.
too.
The Razor party,
I forgot to mention. I went to that.
where all they did is
It was
raffle
so
off
bad. I forgot it.
mainly lame prizes. The best prize they had was a 1070 GeForce card.
Honestly, I think that could have been done a lot
And,
better.
and they advertised their laptops. That's all they did.
I like the laptops. I like that they had to do
No, I
something.
like the laptops, but,
But the Wii-
raffle off a goddamn laptop.
That would have been nice, but at the same time, instead of going and raffling out all those beautiful prizes, they should just got everybody a gift bag and put their lowest mouse in it. The crappiest mouse.
No,
in
no,
it.
yeah, that'd be good. Guaranteed at least a good prize besides a patch. We all got a patch, a
That's
Razor
so
patch.
cool. I like patches.
We can, okay.
You need a
Sorry.
patch? It says Razor on it.
And it actually says
cares?
Razor.
You can have
AFK.
my patch. Because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it.
I didn't
can-
go.
We're gonna raffle a Razor patch off.
Can you even do that?
Maybe if a listener leaves us a comment saying I want the
That
patch on the iTunes and gives us whatever top rating or whatever, it
What
doesn't matter.
iTunes
I'm not
review?
whoring for ratings, but I will
kinda
give you.
am.
We will send you a patch, the AFK Razor patch, Tommy's patch.
Why does it gotta be my patch?
Wait, do I not get
Now I
it?
want to keep my.
I thought you
patch.
didn't want one.
What do you mean I didn't want one? I have one already.
I threw mine away.
Why'd you throw yours
You
away?
threw yours away?
What
I-
would
I just-
you?
I got nervous. I threw everything out of my pants.
So
out.
pissed. He threw. No evidence. I never went.
Well, I also did the Mayo game and got
Sorry,
a platinum through that. And the Vita, I watched. How do you call it? Still,
Monani?
Moana.
Oh,
Moana.
Moana.
Moana. There's no W.
It sounds like you're saying marijuana.
Moana.
Moana.
Monana,
Moana.
Moana.
Monana.
Moana.
Okay, okay.
Oh, no,
All right,
no.
enough of Moana.
Oh,
It's. I think it's one word. It's Moana.
I watched Gotham, and I usually don't like these TV shows where it's like a kid and like Batman's a kid and can't really do anything, like the Superman Smallville show. I hated that because
He wasn't a kid, right? He was a
it messes
teenager.
with everything. But it's still, he was like, can't do anything. He's learning. Same thing in this situation. But what I do like about it is all the villains and how they interact with each other, because Batman's got the best strong point of Batman, besides how cool he is as a character, is all the villains. So it's cool to see all the villains interact.
Isn't
Villains.
Commissioner
React.
Gordon in it? But he's not a commissioner, right?
No, yeah, it's when he's a regular cop before he's commissioner. But
It's in
at the
his
same
early
time,
days.
they butcher everything in the story. Like, to have everything happen early, and it's just, I hate it. But at the same time, it's entertaining, so I watched it. I played Watch Dogs DLC Bad Blood. I didn't. I bought it a long time ago and never got around to playing it. But I finished Watch Dogs 2, so I felt like going back and playing it. It was pretty short, and they actually introduced some concepts that were in Watch Dogs 2. Really bad, like barely tacked on there, but they were there, like the little RC car, so that was kind of cool. Titanfall 2, I got the platinum for this, and I actually played through it. It was really easy to get. I was surprised how easy. It only took me 6 hours.
It only took you 6 hours?
Just that's just
Shut
the
up,
campaign.
Jesus.
How is that a big deal when you farm for 6 hours just to build 5 platforms?
Yeah, but you're getting one
Hey,
platinum.
wait.
That's going through a campaign.
Everybody, give me a 5
That's
seconds.
the standard story.
Give me 5 seconds.
I don't understand why you would be surprised.
Will,
by that.
give me 5 seconds.
Sorry, go ahead.
How many
6
hours
hours?
did you play Ark this weekend?
I pleaded fifth.
Okay, so the
if you
answer
played-
here is every hour you played there, you could have got a platinum.
So if you play through a campaign, wouldn't you be disappointed if it was less than 6 hours? Like if it was 4 hours? If you're playing a game to play a game?
I would be pissed off
I would
if
be
I paid
disappointed.
$59
If it was like 2 hours,
and
if it was 2
long.
hours and I had the platinum, unless I paid like $1 for like Mayo game, I'd be mad.
6 hours.
That Mayo game,
That's a
was,
campaign.
wasn't the Mayo game?
It's a full-on story. It's not like you're farming the same thing like rock just so you can build a platform.
Dude,
like I just said.
that's like straight up 2 Lord of the Rings movies.
All right, moving on.
Are you talking about extended cut or regular?
Regular.
I started Let It Die, which was
Let it die.
Like the actual game.
Oh,
not the
you
demo?
actually you got it?
It's free.
yeah, it's free, so you can download it.
Yeah, I know.
I never. I got to the point where you can
It's
start
just interesting
dying.
how it starts.
It's really goofy. You should at least try it. I like
think
the
I
sense
will.
of humor. It's pretty cool. It seems like
You
it's.
hated it.
It seems like the concept that
Who's
it's
that
going
fucking
towards
guy?
though is
so easy.
Dead Souls, except when you die too much, you have to pay or get your rewards back to not lose everything or something like that.
Don't you? Isn't it 2 ways? It's just like a freemium game where you
It's a
like,
freemium game,
Either you wait,
but you keep dying and coming back unless you have revives.
well, what I meant is like if you
You remember how like you start out as this character with the little things on you.
Mhm.
A little train comes in, and you keep constantly coming up and as a new person. So like you're resetting every time.
So the thing is that either you can pay for revives or wait for revives, right?
Either you can pay or earn them through like coming back in daily, like your logins and stuff like that.
Okay.
So freemium. And then I started The Last Guardian. I gotta say, I'm really liking it so far. The actual gameplay of the boy running around is really what you would expect from if you played Shadow of the
It
Colossus.
is weird. Shadow of the Colossus. That's a good game.
I never even really played Ico, but I played Shadow of the Colossus. I didn't get as far as I wanted to, but the controls were very similar to Shadow of the Colossus, very sloppy. But the animations of the it's called a trico. It's a cat bird. Is really, really neat and how you interact with it. And it seems about, I felt sorry for it. Like already, I just barely started. I felt sorry for it and like already felt attached to it. So
it's a cat bird dog, right? Cat dog bird.
yeah, pretty much.
Kaburg.
Yeah.
Cat,
you really like
dog,
this game,
bird.
Ellie.
Oh,
You'd feel
yeah.
so bad
Ellie,
about
how
it.
do you say cat dog bird real quick? Kaburg.
Kadubber-dubber.
Oh God.
Okay. Well, that's all I did. So why don't we jump right into
Rendering. News of the week.
All right, so guys, we had a lot of trailers that were released just recently. One of the biggest ones was War of the Planet of the Apes. What'd you think of that trailer?
That was cool.
Awesome.
It's interesting how they're building it up. I like Tim Burton's movie, but I thought it was kind of weird.
Well, that
I
was
like the
terrible.
weird-
I didn't.
Monkey sex? Come on.
I didn't like the first one.
Excuse me?
I mean, I didn't like his 100%.
Which version were you
The
watching?
second one was even worse.
That's
Monkey
what,
sex?
That's what I was thinking.
You
I was
didn't.
like,
You did, it
There
wasn't monkey
there
sex.
was
it was
a
monkey
scene where they're
foreplay.
like courting each other in bed
It's monkey foreplay.
and dancing around all weird.
So remember how that orangutan was on the bed and there's a monkey dancing around with clothes on, like the girl was?
You talking about the really old one with Mark Wahlberg?
It's not
Yeah,
really.
it's that one. That's
I
the
don't know
one
if
we're
it's
talking
really
about.
old, but it is older.
The ones that came after that I really liked, but the Tim Burton one I hated.
Like the one with James Franco was pretty good.
Yeah, the Franco one was great, and the sequel was even better.
Isn't
Yeah.
the Franco one is the very first of this series?
Yes.
And how many movies has it been? 4?
3.
3. So this is
This is the 4th one, right?
wait. No, this is the third one. Yeah.
This is the third one in this series, yes.
Oh dang!
So this would be the trilogy.
Wow. It's interesting. I think the concept's really weird because they have what's that guy's name?
I'm just curious where they're gonna go with it. Will they actually make it a planet of apes?
What is the guy's name in there?
Or is it gonna stop?
the bald guy.
I would assume it's becoming like a city at this point.
No.
Like an actual city.
From what do you see?
Caesar.
From what you see in the trailer, it looks like
Looks like they're taking it serious now, which is weird.
It looks
they're sending
like-
tactical units. Like what?
I don't know if
Yeah,
it's
think at the
tactical
beginning.
units. It looks like these guys are like a roaming group, and they're like a hunt squad for apes.
Kill all humans.
Kill all apes. No. The human group.
Oh, okay.
The human group looks like they're a tactical squad that goes around killing apes, and then they run into
The smart
I
ones.
forgot what his name
Caesar?
is. Caesar's group, and Caesar's group fights back. That's what it looks like. But I don't know. The trailer looks really cool. Who's the guy that's in it? Dang, I forgot his name. The bald guy, the main guy. Everybody should know his name. He was in Cheers, and he was in Zombieland. Holy moly. Let me find out his name.
Wood.
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff.
No, it's something Wood.
Woody Allen?
Woody Allen.
Woody Allen.
No, Woody Allen. Is it Woody Allen?
Yeah, Woody
Is that
Allen.
Woody Allen.
Really?
Woody
Yeah, he
Allen.
plays the man
I didn't know
in I don't know, antagonist, protagonist, whatever.
No, it's not Woody Allen.
He said cheers.
Yeah, Woody Allen's not that. Woody Allen's the old Jewish guy.
He's super old now.
Yeah, that's not the
His
same
peak
guy.
times were in his 70s.
I think that's really funny that you said it's something Wood. It's Woody Harrelson.
That's the guy. Yeah, so I was
Woody
looking-
Harrelson's in it. Yeah, and then he looks interesting.
My next choice was Woody from Toy Story, but whatever.
You know, I really wish that Woody. I know Woody Harrelson did really good in Zombieland. I hope he does really good in this. We'll see. But from
Should
what
be
it
good.
looks like, it's going to be really action packed.
Which is great.
The last one was really good. The Rise, that was a good one.
Yeah, I really like that one. The next one is Spider-Man: Homecoming. That's the next trailer that was a big trailer that was released, and that one looking pretty good to me.
That one looks great as well. I'm getting really excited.
It's back to the high school days.
I tell you what though, I am getting kind of tired of this trailer of a trailer shit. Like they need to stop. Like they're dropping like teasers of a trailer and then telling us that tonight we'll drop the actual trailer. Like, dude, just fucking show me one trailer one time.
I actually like that they're putting these short trailers out because in the last like 5 years, they started making shorter. The trailers have been coming ridiculous, where they're almost showing the whole movie in those like 3-minute trailers or 4-minute trailers. You're seeing all the good parts because they have nothing in the movie.
Yeah.
And then now these trailers are getting shorter, but there's a lot in the movie, which I like. The Homecoming one is really cool because they're, again, Disney and Marvel, because I think this is the next group of heroes that's coming out. I think the third set. And this set will not be getting, I think the last one to get a origin story was, oh my God. This guy.
Ant-Man.
No, the guy with the psychic powers. It's just Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange, yes.
Doctor Strange is like one of the last ones to get an origin story. And Spider-Man will not be getting an origin story through this group.
Fuck, I hope
Well, I
not.
already know his goddamn story. He's seen it like 8 times.
And then this time he has an Asian friend that knows he's Spider-Man. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even know he had. In the trailer, it shows. Remember, he's like crawling on the ceiling.
Oh yeah, he's got a best
And
friend.
his buddy sitting on his bed is like, "You're Spider-Man."
Since Marvel's doing it this time, I just can't wait for Venom. He's one of my favorite villains, and I love Venom. And they butchered him in the Sony Pictures.
They tried something and it didn't come out right. Yeah.
I mean, it would have been cool if he didn't like have to have his face out all the time. Venom doesn't do that. Like only when he's like vulnerable.
Whenever the personalities have
Yeah,
an
they just
issue.
did it like because like try to save money, show more emotion that way. I don't know.
Maybe they're trying to save it for another episode, but yeah, we'll see.
So we also got Fast and the Furious and Baywatch.
Well, it's actually called Fate and the Furious.
Fate and the Furious.
Or Fate of the Furious, excuse me.
Fate of the Furious.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
It's the same movie, but
Well, they're trying to go towards like, all right, what happens now since Paul Walker's gone?
is he really gone?
Yeah, we're pretty sure he's gone.
He did.
Oh, he did. No, not that he's died. I mean, in the movie,
Tupac.
Yeah, his character pretty much
in the movie
retired and
set, he
disappeared.
like they drove. All that happened was at the end of the movie. They like drove on 2 different roads.
I hope
Yeah.
they do.
He goes to the beach with his family and he
So
basically
Paul Walker
separates.
did Paul Walker get lost?
No, he went with his. They went on vacation, and disappeared.
Oh.
They left.
Okay, I'm just
They're gone.
confused. I was confused at the end story. All right, go ahead.
I hope they do what they did with Bruce Lee. Have you seen that?
You want to tell us?
When Bruce Lee died, they had a movie half filmed, pretty much the ending of the movie filmed, and they wanted to use that ending, but they needed to film like something that built up to the ending. So they had like a stand-in actor that wore big, huge glasses to cover up his face. But there was 1 or 2 scenes where they wanted to show Bruce Lee's whole face, so they got a cardboard cutout and they had him like staring at a mirror in the makeup room, and the guy was like sitting behind him talking to him, and Bruce Lee was just sitting there with a stone cold face. You could even like see him wobble a little bit. It was so bad.
They already filmed it. They used his brother who looks very similar to him.
In the last movie they did. I don't know.
I know.
Well, they're not going to bring him back.
I don't know if he'll come back for this one, but it's going to have the rest of the crew, right? Vin Diesel.
Yeah, everyone else, and it's going to be. It's supposed to get more intense because now you have what's his name, Jason Statham's character, who's probably going to break out of the prison that he was in. And it's just going to escalate from there. And that's what they're making the Fate of the Furious instead of the Fast. So the Fast was started with Paul Walker's character. He was all about the racing and all this stuff.
So not Fast anymore, they're just Furious?
Yeah, well, it's like the Fate of the Furious. It's no longer about just street racing. I mean, it hasn't been for a couple movies now.
It's about ECV racing now.
It's just about this group of people, basically.
It's all about Vin Diesel getting pissed and yelling at everyone.
Get down!
You embarrass me.
All right, who remembers No Man's Sky? Well,
what?
What
Who's
is that?
Well, you remember it, right? You got lost in the tunnel.
No Man's Sky, the
and
game.
couldn't get out.
Underground tunnel.
Yeah, then you're supposed to repair your ship so you can fly in space.
Never got to space.
The planet. Well, it has an update now. It's update 1.1. It's what they've been promising. We'll actually get to do base building now. It's going to be as like you would have in Fallout 4. You'd be able to build a base and have like indoor area and stairs, and you can even build portals so you can when you're like out exploring, you can just teleport back to your base, which is kind of cool. We also have freighters, so you can actually buy a big huge freighter. Before, they'd just be sitting out there, and you saw in the trailer that you'd be able to do more with it, but now you can actually buy one and make it your home on the go. We can call it, and you can even have a little base building in there too, so you have customizable area in there.
I remember, did they I didn't read the whole update. There is no pirating of freighters, right? Still, you can't pirate a freighter.
I'm not sure. I think you have more interactivity with the traders, and that's part of the update because you can buy your own now.
Yeah, it could be.
But I'm not sure. And then you can also.
How did they do the base building, by the way? I didn't try it.
I haven't even tried it myself yet.
Is it like Ark?
Similar. Very similar. They also added in some updates for PC and for PS4, some visual updates. They added in anti-aliasing.
Yeah.
And some other
motion blur, right?
Yeah, some motion blur, so it actually looks like you're going faster when you go outside of the space station.
Are you going to try it on PS Pro before next week? So you can tell us if there's any difference?
Yeah, I'll probably try it out.
Yeah, because
I mean, it's hard. There's so many games right now. Last Guardian, Call of Duty I haven't even played yet, and Final Fantasy 15's out.
Screw Call of Duty. Go straight into this. Let's check it out.
All right.
Kids play Call of Duty.
What are we talking about? Kids?
Play Splatoon.
Adults play Call of Duty too.
No, only adults play Splatoon.
I like
Kids
Call of
play Call of Duty.
I actually miss Call of Duty. I think I'm going to play it this week.
I hear the campaign is pretty good this time.
All right.
Amazon is said to be bringing Alexa to a Fire Phone line or tablets in 2017.
That's gonna be cool. What do you think?
I agree. I enjoy her more than Siri.
She's smart, but
Like on a
sometimes she's a
romantic level,
little
or-
bit
oh.
too crazy.
I'm not going to lie to you. My Alexa sometimes just fucking decides to start playing shit on its own. Like, I won't even say anything. It'll be like, oh, did you say jazz music? And it just starts like fucking middle of the morning. Like, what the fuck is this? Scares the shit out of me. Sometimes it'll start talking 3 in the damn morning. I did not find the results for it. I'm like, what the fuck? My house is dead quiet, and all of a sudden, just shit just starts talking. It gives me a heart attack.
That never happens to me, but sometimes she misunderstands. People say something that doesn't sound anything like Alexa, and she's responding back. And then like she like doesn't understand anything anymore. Like I always used to say Alexa lights 10, like for 10%. And now she doesn't understand that, or 10%. All she understands is 20%. I don't know what happened.
I think they did some updates to her because she's having problems in my house too. But the problems I'm having are like because I have 2 Alexas. I have the Alexa Mini and the Alexa Big.
Do they compete with each other?
She doesn't understand now. When the little one came, she became a little bit weird, and now only the little one works and the big one doesn't. So I don't understand what's going on. Like she got jealous and doesn't want to work anymore.
Stupid big Alexa.
You guys make it sound like human.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It does more work in my house than my wife does.
Damn, I'm telling. I got him.
You're so rude.
Okay, who wants to jump on top of a Goomba in real life?
What's a Goomba?
I do.
A Goomba from Mario.
The little brown things. Remember the ones that look like little
Oh
mushrooms?
shit, those things.
Oh.
I don't know why I was
Yeah.
thinking the plants for some reason.
Yeah.
No, those are piranhas. Piranha plants. So Universal is building a Nintendo themed area, and it's going to have Nintendo attractions in it.
Which Universal?
In both Orlando and Hollywood.
So I think that's going to be really cool because if they build in Universal Studios Hollywood, it's going to be like a 3D movie game. Shit.
Well, they're trying to build a whole area for just Nintendo.
There's plenty of space in Hollywood.
Where are they going to build it, though?
You know the
Probably
area
tear
that
some
you remember
shit
the
down.
area that has like all the junk like Gru crap.
Oh, that
Yeah,
area
that
where
little-
Terminator used to be?
Yeah, they're going to put it
I
there.
miss the Terminator ride.
Wait, they took it. Oh.
You know where the Gru area is, and there's like a kids play place. They'll probably make that whole area Mario.
It's next to my favorite bar, though. The Irish pub.
The Irish pub.
Not my favorite bar, like in the world, but at Universal.
That's like the only one.
Are you Irish?
He's Irish.
I might be.
He looks Irish.
You are.
You know what really bothers Tommy? Data limits. He loves to watch Netflix, but sometimes he hits his data limits. I mean, like pretty much every week. So thank God Netflix has decided to add an update. Tommy, you excited? Netflix says you can finally add offline playback.
Yeah, I'm stoked. Oh right, data limits. Yeah. Fuck that shit. Netflix, way to go. Movies on the go. Hey, now I can watch movies on an airplane or some shit off of my phone without having to worry about
Well,
it.
you
Or if I ever get stuck in an elevator during an earthquake, I'm just like, fuck this. Pull out the fucking phone and
Well,
You had
watch
to have the foresight to be able to download it to your phone ahead of time, though.
Yeah,
the
you
good
can-
thing it is for is for the plane. So if you know when you get on a plane and they're ass hats and they don't give you Wi-Fi unless you pay like a
Well, it's
$20
also
fee.
good if you have good internet at home. You could download it on your phone in advance because you know that the signal at work is crap, and then you can watch it at work.
I think they're doing it to compete with YouTube because you can do that on YouTube now if you have YouTube Red.
You can do it on. You were able to do it on Amazon Prime Video for a long
Oh,
time.
yeah. That came first, then it was YouTube.
Yeah, and Amazon Prime Video had a really good policy. It says like if once you start you can download it all like today, and once you start watching it, it gave you the 2-day limit. And then once your 2-day limit was over, you can't watch it anymore. Download it; it'll just stop working, which is cool.
So talking about Amazon, guys, they just introduced something new. They introduced Amazon
Wait, hold on. Is this the?
Go.
Ah,
Amazon Go. So it's supposedly the world's
do you
most...
wear it on your wrist?
What?
Do you wear it on your wrist? Like
It's not Pokemon Go.
Oh, it's not like that.
That's
You
not
can
even- that's-
shop on the go.
It'd be so funny if it was Amazon Go and all you do in Amazon Go is throw boxes at stuff you want.
Oh my God.
Flick a box.
Ship.
No,
Some
guys.
guy's throwing a
It's the
box
most-
at a girl. Like it's
most
not working.
advanced shopping technology. No lines, no checkout. Just grab and go.
So now it's instead of you going to the grocery store and then self checkout, it's you grab and then get the fuck out.
Yeah. What's scary though, it's using the technology that I think casinos are using, where it tracks whatever you're doing from your face, and you scan your phone on the way in. It just tracks whatever you grab and it knows what you grab.
So what
So
it
it's
does,
interesting.
it scans your face, and then when you scan your phone, it basically says, "My face has this credit card number." That's what it's doing. So then once you
And it
walk
also
in,
knows the product you're grabbing.
yeah, but even if you grab it and you're like, "Oh man, I don't want to eat this," and you put it back, it automatically takes that back off your account,
Which is fucking creepy.
which is great. But here's the
A
thing:
little bit.
is this a pushback for the people that are pushing for $15 an hour at the minimum wage level? It probably is. So they're going to get rid of cashiers. They're going to get rid of baggers. And all you're going to have left are stalkers.
You're gonna have a whole lot of people without a job. That's just
Good
how
luck,
it is.
7-Eleven.
I don't think it'll happen in 7-Eleven anytime soon. The Last Guardian is averaging about 20 to 25 frames on the intensive parts of the game, but PS4 Pro averages a steady 30 frames per second.
Ooh.
Is this a hint of things to come? Are we going to see more games that constantly doing this to us, where the only way we can get a steady 30 FPS, not even like a 60 FPS like I was hoping for, but a steady 30 FPS, while the PS4 is getting like the terrible frame rates, and it's just going to get worse.
Will's biggest enemy is frame rate.
I hate frame rate.
His arch. If they ever made a movie
I hate
about
frame
it,
rate
they'd have a
drops.
guy called Frame Rate.
It's not that bad. It's 24 is not that bad. But
I don't
as you
even.
can tell-
I'm not even that crazy about frame rate. Some people want like I can't live without 100 frames per second, and you have to have a TV with 100 hertz refresh rate at least with G-Sync or FreeSync, so they can have.
Can you imagine, like, he's about to get a platinum, and then something happens with the frame rates, and he fucks up, and he loses the platinum?
We definitely did see a difference at PSX. We did see a difference when we were playing Horizon, though. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can. I'm sure if you were playing this and you played it on the standard, and then you went to the pro, you'd be able to see a big difference too. It's pretty much the same thing from what I could see.
Well, that makes me want to get a pro, though. All right, moving on.
Westworld, the HBO hit, states it owes its popularity to Game of Thrones.
Whoa. Well,
Tommy?
what do you think?
I haven't watched Westworld yet. I've actually been thinking about watching it, and now that they're saying that their success is due to Game of Thrones, I'm kind of intrigued now. I don't know.
Because Game of Thrones is their pre-show, is their after show, right? So they're before Game of Thrones, I think, in the lineup. So that's what happens. You get...
But Game of Thrones is not airing right now, so...
No. When it was starting, when Westworld was starting, Game of Thrones was on, I think.
Is that what it is? Or is it maybe they have some writers from them? I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I think that's what we read. But anyway, so are you going to watch it on HBO when it comes out?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Just check.
Jimmy Fallon. Are you guys a fan of Jimmy Fallon?
Yes.
You are?
I like Jimmy Fallon.
Really?
Yeah.
I think Jimmy Fallon is interesting, but not my favorite.
He's my favorite.
He really is?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
All the girls love Jimmy Fallon.
He's awesome. How do you not love Jimmy?
I mean, I think he's okay, but never like a huge fan. I always liked Conan more.
I think he was. I think
Conan.
I think
He annoys
he's
me
luckier
sometimes.
because he's got a lot of money. That's why I think it is. I think he's got a lot of money behind him.
Well, speaking of him being lucky, guys, he got to demo the Nintendo Switch on a show.
Because he's cool.
Could you imagine Conan demoed it though on Clueless Gamer?
I
That
probably
would've
He
been-
probably will eventually. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm sure he will. I just
He actually seemed, in his defense though, he seemed like a big fan of Nintendo. I didn't even know that he was a huge fan of it. He actually knew like some of the reasons why Miyamoto made Zelda to begin with, like that he like went on adventures when he was a kid. So maybe he is a big fan of Zelda. He seemed to be freaking out, kind of playing it for the camera, but
It's so awesome when he freaks out. He's so real. He's like such a real person because he legitimately like knows this stuff. He just loves Jimmy.
And it's funny. It's just when you watch Jimmy Fallon do it, it's kind of like watching it as if one of us got the opportunity to host a show, and then you just nerd out and geek out about every celebrity, everything that happens. Granted, they do say that he, like, sometimes his laughs are kind of fake, but honestly, it just seems like that he just has a goofy laugh, and that's just what it is.
My favorite show host is Steve Wilkos, but no one listens to him anymore. Go ahead.
He was pretty cool.
I don't know who that
Steve
is.
Harvey is pretty funny too.
Just moving on. Steve Harvey. We went too far.
Tosh 2.0, that's your favorite?
Tosh is the worst. Moving on.
Clickbait articles are going crazy over Samsung's S8 coming release not having an audio jack.
Okay.
I think that Samsung going without an audio jack is just they saw probably what happened with Apple and they said, hey,
Well,
let's
no, this is
copy.
dumb. This is dumb. Like all these articles are talking about this, but the Note 7 didn't have an audio jack. I know it's dead, but the Lenovo Moto Z doesn't have an audio jack, and the S7 almost didn't have an audio jack. It like was going to, but like something happened. I don't know exactly what happened, but everything's been going towards USB-C. Even the MacBook Pro is USB-C.
I bet somebody dropped it into the water on accident. Like they're like, yeah, we're just gonna put it for whole shit, and they dropped it, and they're like, ooh, maybe we should make this waterproof. And thus,
I think
jack.
audio jacks, honestly,
Or
they're not
audio
a big
jack.
deal. I mean, getting rid of them is not a
Well,
big deal.
dongles are a pain.
Their dongles are a
And
pain,
I can understand the complaint, but
but the Bluetooth headphones are working just fine for me. I have a pair.
yeah,
I haven't lost them yet. Cross my fingers.
so much junk gets inside that audio jack. I'm okay with the fact that we're going to just one port. Speaking of the Note 7, guys, on December 19th, a mandatory update will be hitting all remaining phones out there, disabling the battery charging.
For the Note 7?
Yeah, so dead.
Wow.
Once the update hits, you'll no longer be able to charge your phone. It'll just die.
Wait, how does...
I think it's just like a small update that's mandatory no matter what. You can't prevent the update. Except for Verizon's the only one not forcing this update.
Wow. That's interesting.
So if you have that explosive phone and you haven't turned it in yet for the recall, they're stopping the phone completely. So what if you use it normally? Like, are you just fucked? Like, that's it?
Well, that's why Verizon doesn't want to do it. But everybody else is like, oh yeah, let's do it because we don't want it blowing up and us being liable.
Well, because on the FAA plane, FAA now requires that the Federal Aviation Administration.
Plus, they have that whole trade-in deal. You get a new phone, and we get $200 or $100, whatever it was.
Well, when you go on a plane, you have to turn in your Note 7 to the stewardess.
That's crazy.
Before you get on.
How did they send it over? Like, they just ship it, or what the fuck?
You can just go to the store.
You go to the store, and they'll give you a new phone and $200 when they were honoring it. I think they're still honoring it.
I would think so.
Yeah.
This is the last moment, like, hey, do this now, kind of a thing.
Wow, that's straight up bullying.
I feel like someone would keep it anyways for archiving reasons.
Well, they're probably going to keep it for archiving reasons. They'll probably have someone allowed to keep it, but someone's going to find a way around it, I promise.
What if they're doing that now? I mean, if they can...
Why would you?
No, for example, listen, if they're able to manipulate your battery to just not be able to charge anymore, what if they were making it possible that every Apple update you got, it just kind of shrank your battery life just a little bit?
That's what people think now.
And to the point where you get so frustrated, you go, fuck it, I need a new phone.
People already think that now. People think that every Apple update that comes out on Apple somehow ruins their phones, and then it's like a forced upgrade. But
yeah, because it starts out amazing, and then it becomes absolute shit. It's like, Jesus Christ, my car does better than this, and I use that like massively way more crazy than I do my phone. I just push some buttons and shit. Whereas the car gets like put through a lot, but yet the phone after a year it just degrades like absolutely.
Well, you're talking about charging something constantly.
Even
up, down,
even like a console. Imagine if you play a game console every day.
It's because the operating system is changing so much. That's when you update an operating system. Is what happens.
Yeah, more resources, more battery.
Yep.
Shigeru Miyamoto. Do I have to tell you who this is?
No, I know who that is.
Do I have to tell you who this is,
I
Tommy?
don't know who it is.
He's the god of video games.
I'm so mad at you guys.
I'm an ignorant woman.
He's a god of video games.
He did Mario. He's the original creator of Mario and Zelda.
I already knew that.
He didn't just.
How come you asked like you didn't?
I was just being an ignorant woman.
I just didn't know.
You're just trying to make Tommy feel better.
He didn't just do those. He did Kirby as well.
No, I thought that was the other guy.
He helped with Kirby.
It's the guy that died, right?
He also helped with the SNES.
The guy that died helped with Kirby, but it was the guy that did Smash Brothers that mainly did Kirby, I think.
I love Smash
I think Miyamoto helped with Smash Brothers, and he helped with the SNES. SNES.
What about this dude, though?
He has a favorite pastime. Do you want to guess what his favorite pastime is?
Does he, does it have anything?
I know this one.
What is it?
His favorite pastime is measuring things or guessing how much they or what the measurement is, and in fact, it's so intense that he carries a measuring tape with him so that he can check and see if it's correct. I read this somewhere, and I was like, "That's weird." That's how I know this.
Ellie, if he just has people around him and nothing else, and he needs to play this game, what do you think he'd measure?
Wait, if he has nothing else around and he had to measure something?
Yeah, just people around him. He's in a big crowd.
There's only
just
people?
Men. Yeah.
Just men?
Yeah.
Probably their feet. Let's see who has big
That's
feet.
it?
Yep.
Not their So Radeon Relive is here, a competitor to the GeForce Experience that offers recording gameplay directly from the card. So this is kind of cool because
I'm sorry, that was too smooth. That shit was genius. She's like, he didn't. So bitch slick.
The GeForce cards for a long time have had recording gameplay on its side, and you've not been able to do this with Radeon cards, so it's been a selling point for the GeForce cards, besides the fact that they have a stronger spec. So the fact that Radeon cards now have this is a stronger selling point for them, so I think it's kind of cool that it has it.
Finally, Radeon moving on up.
So Apple, guys, Tim Cook, they're rumored to be working on a self-driving car. Have you heard about this?
Oh, yes.
I thought they killed those plans.
Really? There's a lot of rumors about it just recently.
Maybe they brought it back. I don't know. Maybe because everyone else started doing it again.
I don't know.
Yeah, because of Google. Remember Google's little game, and then Watch Dogs had a self-driving car called the Noodle.
So, guys, Windows 10 has an update. It can now run on 32-bit ARM processors.
What does that mean to the people that don't know?
An ARM processor would be like what your cell phone uses compared to what your desktop computer uses.
Okay.
So
That makes
you
so
could
much
run.
sense.
You could
Thank
run.
you, William.
So you could run Windows 10 on a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
As long
What?
as it,
Really?
yeah, as long as it's 32-bit.
Huh?
So it'd have to be like an iPhone 5.
Or a 7.
That's awesome. But I don't know why I would do that. I wouldn't want to waste my
Well,
time.
do you guys remember what the hell's going on, Tom?
What? I'm fine.
Do you remember the Surface RT?
Yes.
The one that didn't actually run Windows? That was an ARM. And that was an ARM processor that was running on. And the version of Windows it was running was terrible. You couldn't run anything on it except for like Office and stuff. It's just like a few apps. You couldn't do like the regular Windows stuff.
Right.
So now it's possible, but I don't know why they don't have 64-bit working yet, because like all cell phones right now are using 64-bit processors, ARM processors.
How do you know that?
Because that was the selling point of the 5S when it first came out.
It's common knowledge.
And Snapdragon was also doing it to compete with it at the time.
You don't know anything about Qualcomm?
I don't
Get
know.
on it.
I don't know jack shit about Qualcomm. I know about quails.
Speaking of quails, South Korea is going to be making game modding and cheating illegal soon.
Oh,
And
nice.
quails?
That's what we call cheaters here in this channel.
Yeah.
quails.
Stupid quails.
Don't be a quail.
Don't be a quail.
What are you, a quail lover?
Yeah.
So I think that's a little bit overboard. Do you think they should actually be illegal?
Yes, because those people that I play StarCraft with are fucking my mind up.
That's true. There's a lot of cheaters in South
You
Korea.
know what we do with those quails? We send Dick Cheney after them.
But think about this, though. You cheat because you just want to have fun, and then you connect online.
You
and
don't.
all of a
You cheat
sudden,
because you're lazy.
you go to jail for 5 years.
Wait, it's a jail thing?
Yeah.
No,
You
okay.
can get jail time for up to 5 years.
Yeah, fuck it. Just send them to jail. man.
Crazy.
Well,
Wait,
people
you
make
mean-
money.
Well, it's because if it's
Being
money
good.
made, I guess that's how I would do it. I don't think they're going to for regular cheaters like
I mean,
you or me.
I can maybe understand why it would be okay over there, because they get so competitive with
So
it,
you're-
like all the Blizzard games out there.
So you're telling me if I played Warcraft 3 and I typed in the cheat codes, or even GTA, I'd go to jail for 5 years?
No, these would be like more intense trainers, not single player stuff. Like multiplayer cheating.
Oh.
Yeah, well, it makes sense. It's like gambling.
So yeah, if you're cheating, like on some people, remember the Call of Duty weird stuff they had that where you buy your guns and stuff like that. I forget what that.
Oh,
system
yeah.
was.
Skins.
Yeah, and people were charging like $50, $60 for things like that, or $200. I can see it now. That's why. But
Like for mods and stuff, yeah. Or probably even for like games like World of Warcraft.
Well, it's just so they don't want you to cheat at all and more than ruin people's experiences, and the competitive play it messes that up too.
Yeah.
you can't do a bum rush with Zerg anymore.
Oh no.
That's totally legal. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah.
PewDiePie, guys. Do you like PewDiePie?
Nah.
I like pie.
I don't know who that is, and I really don't care.
Shut up. I know he's your favorite YouTuber, so he'll.
Absolutely.
I know you love him.
I'm
You love him
disgusted
to
by
death.
him.
I know you do. Well, right now there's a big controversy on all of YouTube about subscribers being lost whenever you post a video, and that the algorithm is broken and new videos aren't getting as many views as it used to. So he was like, well, if this has happened, I might as well start a new channel. So he started a new channel, and he really quickly got 1 million subscribers. And he said, well, if PewDiePie, I'd rather keep doing this new channel that gets new views on videos instead of keeping my old one. So if my old channel gets 50 million subscribers, I can delete it. And it got 50 million subscribers, and instead he deleted his new account.
Everyone knew that was going to happen.
That's stupid.
I remember whenever they were talking about it, I remember saying, he said he's going to delete a channel. He didn't say he's going to delete the old channel specifically, I think. And that's why he deleted the new one. He's like, I'm going to delete a channel. There you go. He has like 50 channels.
This is dumb.
F PewDiePie.
Yeah. Too much.
Topic of the week: the PlayStation Experience 2016.
All right, guys. So the PlayStation Experience, we all went to it. We all stood in line in the morning. Ellie has the platinum that she achieved in her cell phone case, and we got all the cards.
Got a lot of cards, actually. I think this is the most cards I've ever got at a PlayStation Experience, even more than Las Vegas.
And we also attended the press conference.
Yes.
So the press conference was actually really, really good this year. A lot better than last year.
Compared to San Francisco, yeah.
And even better than the first year, I think. You don't think so? They had a ton of good games.
I think the first year
they had Bloodborne.
First year had a bunch of games, but I think this year had the best set.
Yeah. So it opened up with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy DLC. It's a standalone DLC, a lot like Infamous First Light.
And I played it
at the PlayStation Experience.
at the PlayStation Experience.
You played the multiplayer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's very similar
okay.
to.
It's like, what are you talking about?
Remember that time you were
It's not even out
texting
yet.
me, telling me where the hell am I? That was doing that.
He wasn't.
You
playing,
played a little bit of Uncharted 4.
I played 11 rounds of Uncharted 4
Multiplayer.
survival mode, where it's very similar to Horde mode and Gears of War 4.
Yeah, but
It's quite fun.
The biggest part about Uncharted is the single player experience is very cinematic, and this trailer that showed off was incredibly cinematic. You couldn't even tell what it was at first.
Oh, it was a great trailer.
Was it? It wasn't just a trailer. It was gameplay. It seemed like.
Yeah,
It's a combination.
It is gameplay. It's very cinematic gameplay,
Yeah.
and it was really, really good. You couldn't even tell what it was until she
Yeah, you
took
didn't know
her
what the hell was going
burqa
on.
off, and then you're like, oh crap, it's Chloe. Uncharted 2.
I knew who it was. I knew it was an Uncharted game.
Well,
Once
I
that
suspected it.
The black girl came in.
Well, yeah. First you saw her, and then you saw the other. Then you saw Chloe
Yeah.
right after.
Yeah, you saw Chloe, and then everyone started to scream. And I got a bunch of screams. A lot of
Yeah,
good
it was very
reaction.
loud, a lot of loud reactions. I think what even might have been a larger reaction is the next game that showed, Marvel vs. Capcom 4.
Oh,
Marvel's Capcom
yes.
Infinite.
Actually, they only showed a little bit of the trailer, but the actual gameplay trailer they showed later on that night after
At the Capcom Cup.
Yeah.
or during the Capcom.
No, but what they showed was a trailer, and it had the first things you saw were Mega Man's feet, I think. Right?
Yes, you saw Mega Man walking.
And everyone was like, "Oh my
I'm pretty
god!"
sure you saw a full frontal Mega Man.
No, at first it was his
You
feet
saw
from
Mega Man walking forward.
Oh,
and
maybe
then
I'm just thinking of the trailer that was shown later on.
Yeah. Then you get to see Ryu's feet. Then you see Iron Man. Then you see Mrs. Marvel.
Yeah,
And then all of a sudden, nowhere, you say, "Okay, this is Marvel vs. Capcom."
Yeah.
it was great.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. I love the original, and I love 2, and I love 3. So, hopefully it'll come soon.
I got excited for Destiny. Christmas time.
The fuck?
There was a snowman helmet.
Yeah, they did show off a Rise of Iron free update that's coming out, and the Icebreaker's back. A lot of people cheered for that.
I had an icebreaker.
Yeah, original, and it's coming back. Year 3 Icebreaker.
So, but going back, with the Marvel vs. Capcom, they also said that Marvel vs. Capcom 3 was going to be on PS4, and that got a lot of screams too. So,
Oh yeah.
they
Like
released
this
it.
day. Yeah,
Today,
like,
it's
yeah.
out. You guys can go buy it.
Yeah, they did say that.
So people were crying.
I should have bought it. I didn't totally forgot
the
about
guy
that.
sitting like 2 seats to my right was literally crying. Like, I've never seen a grown man cry like that when he said Marvel vs. Capcom 4 Infinite, and then
There's a ton of fans about that game.
just straight up tears, and I was like, "Dude,
Aren't they like making another one as well? Because there's one they're making, which the guy had talked about later on, saying that there's more characters they're adding. Plus, there was this one. No, you had it backwards. The Infinite is what's coming out. Well, they released something else that was
Marvel vs.
available.
Capcom 3 is coming out
Now.
today, and then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is
Yeah.
the one that's releasing as 4.
Yeah, which is not done yet because there's 6 characters in all.
Yeah, that's 4.
No, 6 new. One of them they revealed is 5 more.
The characters.
You're gonna get a bunch of characters. It's gonna be a
5
bunch
new
of.
ones. They said 5.
I know
brand
Ant-Man
new.
is one of them.
Oh, I don't know, but it's 5 brand new characters.
We'll see what happens. But that got a lot of cheers. That was a big cheer.
Yeah.
People went nuts over that.
So those were
The three games that got the biggest
those,
cheers.
those were the two largest reveals that they opened up with. The next one we got, I think, was Street Fighter 5. Akuma's coming over to the Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, Akuma's being unleashed.
Pyre,
Akuma.
a game by Supergiant Games, the people that did Transistor, is a game that's coming out. It's kind of like chess. A little bit reminding me of it. It's like a live action kind of chess. It's kind of strange.
I like their games. Transistor was really good.
Yeah, I like Transistor. Next, Makima. It's a game by Housemarque. They did Resogun and Alienation, and it looks really good too.
Yeah, and they said they're working on another game, but they didn't say out loud what it was. And the rumor in the world is that it has a lot to do with Mega Man, but we don't know.
They would make a really good Mega Man game.
It was not confirmed, but I got a fist pump. Someone got a fist pump.
Yeah, but next Makima looks really good, so I'm excited for that game. It's got like some cyberpunk elements, so I'm a big fan. Knack 2, guys.
The thing with Knack that came out, everyone was like, "Oh, it's another Knack." Is this when Yoshida came out?
Shu Yoshida
came out, and then he got a super cheer.
Yoshida.
Yeah, Yoshida.
Everybody loves Shu Yoshida.
Yeah, he came out.
I remember you were screaming his name really loud, Soil.
Well, I started the.
You're like,
That was later on during the Kind of Funny panel.
I started at the Kind of Funny one because I want to see if it would start, and it started. So, but anyway, moving on. The Yoshida came out. He announced 3 games coming back. Loco Roco, Parappa the Rappa is being remastered,
and
Absolutely
Patapon.
retarded.
and Patapon, and those he loves those games. He's like, those are my favorite games. I'm super excited about Parappa the Rappa.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I actually never played the original, but I always wanted to. I didn't have a PlayStation back then.
I did, and I remember.
I jumped in at PlayStation 2.
The only one I remember is the one with the onion dojo. Kick, punch is all in the mind.
It looks absolute garbage. What a waste.
Anti-kids games.
What
It's not
a
even.
waste.
It wasn't even like a kid game though. When it first came out, it was really geared towards.
Punks.
Absolute waste of money.
It was geared towards people of our age, I think. Really,
Yeah.
it was like the weird Japanese kid that wanted to play. Those time push games.
Rhythm games are fun, Tommy. Expand your horizons.
Expand your life. Arc is not enough.
So Knack 2, going back to Knack 2, it's going to have co-op this time, which looks like it might actually be fun. So
Yeah, that got a big cheer because at first it was just looked single player. They're like,
Yeah.
Knack's coming back.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, what was the song they had on it that made it like...
I don't remember.
There was a song with it.
But I'm getting some bad flashbacks to Epic Mickey 2, Power of 2,
Oh.
and how bad that was compared to the original. So hopefully, I didn't even enjoy the original that much, but hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's better than the original.
I have memories of Knack whenever the PlayStation 4 came out.
I remember being very disappointed.
And I remember going to a Walmart, waiting at Walmart with Encore to buy Knack. We buy Knack. We go back to his house. We play Knack for 15 minutes. And then we don't play anymore. We were so sad because we were all there to watch him unbox his PlayStation 4, even though all of us had our own PlayStation 4s. We went over to his house to watch him unbox it and play Knack.
Well, hopefully when I get Knack 2, we can play with Encore. That'd be fun.
No.
Okay. Ace Combat 7
Yes.
got a trailer too, a new one.
It's adding Ace Combat, and I think the last 4 Ace Combats have had stories. So what they are is they're like a cinematic. Their stories are so good though; they're so emotional. So you end up having like you're a fighter pilot for a certain country, and the storyline goes through like how your country's getting destroyed or how this is happening in your country and you need to fight back, and then you're
Somebody said in the line there, they're like, yeah, that's pretty much what it's going to look like halfway through Trump presidency. The country's at war.
What the heck?
How did you lose track of this?
I don't understand what you're talking about. But all right,
About Ace Combat. That was a joke.
yeah, Ace Combat's always been about war, but the thing about Ace Combat is like they're always made up countries.
Boy, that thing just flew over your head, didn't it?
Wasn't,
See what I did there? It flew over your head like Ace Combat.
The first joke wasn't that
Oh, man. I'm killing him. I am killing him this time.
good. The first joke was really bad. But anyway, moving on.
Let It Die had a trailer, and it was released that day, I think. And
It was a big deal there, and I really liked it.
It's a new game by what's it called?
It's a co-op between two companies. I forget the company's name.
Hold on.
Free.
One of the companies is really well known. Grasshopper manufactured. Hold
I
on.
like grasshoppers.
One is the producer. Somebody's a producer, and somebody's a developer.
It was developed by Grasshopper Manufacturer, and they did a lot of games. They did No More Heroes, and they did Killer 7, and those are really popular games on GameCube and Wii.
Yep.
And a lot of people are really excited for this.
So it is a freemium game. So if you want to get your hands on it, it's free on the PlayStation Store right now. So go out and get it. I do recommend playing it a little bit. But when I was sitting in line to play the game, I remember asking the guy, how did you guys get such a big stall at PSX? Because they had a beautiful stall. Their stall was like a half-cut subway car that had all these like oxygen tank things hanging off of it, and you could take a picture with one of the characters and all that jazz.
Oh yeah, they had the best photo area out of all the places.
Yeah, because they had actors in there in the photos.
And then you're looking at that cost, and you're like, wait, your game's free? That's the first thing that came out of my head, and I was like, how are you guys gonna make money off this? And then he was like, well, you pay for continues and you pay for stuff. If you want to get better stuff, you have to pay. So I was like, oh, it's a freemium game.
Yeah. I remember feeling the bricks that they used for the set, and I thought it was real for a second. I knocked it, and it almost fucking went inside. I was like, oh shit.
I'll never forget the moment where I scared a woman.
Excuse me?
So there's these little cutouts that you can watch people through, like the brick wall, like missing bricks, and you can look through it. It says look through here. So I go to one of the bricks with Ellie. Ellie's right next to me,
And I recorded it.
and I was up, and as I went boo, and the lady's like, huh? And like looked over.
Didn't you say hello?
Or I said hello. I remember.
Well,
what I did.
this is in our interviews that we did on the show floor. So watch the video and you'll see it. So we also got Windjammers, a retro looking game. It looks kind of fun though.
By a French developer, right?
Yeah, it looks like it's fun.
That
though.
shit looks like, straight up, not even gonna lie, it looks like tennis from the Super Nintendo, like fucking Super Nintendo.
It's a retro game. That's what it looked like originally.
Retro.
It's what it looked like originally.
I know, that's what I'm just saying. I'm pointing out.
Did you guys mention Crash Bandicoot when you're talking about the
No, we did not.
from Shuei Yoshida?
No, you should talk about that.
Crash Bandicoot, we got a trilogy remaster. They're doing 3 games.
Oh.
And they're actually being very faithful to originals. They're doing like 1-to-1. It's just a graphical
Very
upgrade.
faithful. Dude, they remastered the entire game piece by piece. Like, they were literally showing scenes of
every
of the
box
original
is where it
game,
should be,
and
yeah.
it's the exact same shit except better graphics.
Did you buy it?
No,
It's out.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's out.
Oh shit, I should buy it. I didn't know.
You made me. It made me feel a little bit emotional because I remember the first time I played Crash Bandicoot and saying, "Man, this game's so simple yet so much fun."
I never played it, but I always saw it everywhere.
I played.
So I know what it was.
You know the sound that you made when you came back to life, or you had the shield guy. Hooga booga.
Yeah,
That's the sound
I like the tiki guys and the tiki effects.
The tiki effects are the coolest.
What was the song that it was playing on the trailer? It was something catchy. You remember when they were showing the gameplay?
It's the song from the game.
Was that what it was?
I don't know how the song
It
goes.
was like hooga booga hooga hooga. I'm gonna look it up.
Did you just
So we got a new Wipeout trailer.
Wipeout? Yeah.
I don't know. It doesn't look that great.
This time,
if they say it in VR, I'd be more excited.
this time his shirt was faithful. Last year he put a Crash Bandicoot shirt on.
Sean Layden.
Yeah, that's from the game.
That's the game, dude.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that when we were there, Sean Layden at the PSX in San Francisco wore a Crash Bandicoot shirt, and everyone thought he was gonna say Crash Bandicoot is gonna be remade at San Francisco. That was 2015's PSX. This year he wore a shirt that had 3 cars swiveling, and that was a Wipeout shirt.
Right.
And then he said, "I have something exciting for you guys." And then Wipeout showed up.
Here's the thing, though. I don't think they would have remastered Crash Bandicoot if he didn't wear that shirt and make all that hype.
You think so?
I think so.
Wow.
I think partially it was because of that.
I thought that they would have remade it because Crash Bandicoot has such a big following. Naughty Dog
I don't think they necessarily knew that had a huge following. I don't know.
but Crash Bandicoot's Naughty Dog's flagship, right? Wasn't their first?
They did one of their games.
Yeah, wasn't that their
One or two of the games. Yeah,
The
but
main
they also
game.
did some other games.
their main game? They didn't do all the weird.
And then it moved on to another developer.
Yeah.
Oh, he's creepy.
What did you say?
It's creepy.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. He's fucking weird.
I think he's pretty cool. I like it that they're redoing it, and I think that when they remade the Wipeout, I think it got a lot of yells. It did get a lot of yells. But it wasn't.
I wasn't impressed by it visually. By the way it looked, it's like, oh, it's in VR. It's not in VR, so I don't know why it looks so.
Personally, I was never a fan of Wipeout.
I wasn't either. But if it was in VR, I'd be more excited.
You can get sick with that one.
I don't care. I don't want to get sick.
In that one, you'll get sick.
Make me sick.
Remember how much stuff there was going on around you?
So the last thing they showed, the big ending, the one last thing, The Last of Us Part 2. I'm really excited for this.
That trailer was amazing.
Well,
yeah.
The trailer started out really great because it started out with
Just a bunch of death and music.
It started off with trees, then it pushed back to abandoned house, abandoned car, then it pushed back to a sign that had the firefly on it, and then everybody knew it was Last of Us related.
Yeah.
And then you moved
as soon as you saw the firefly symbol.
Yeah, you knew it was related to it. But then once you saw
the hands, you're like,
whose hands are these?
It looks kind of manly, kind of beat up, kind of like weathered hands. I was like, I didn't know.
And it was a woman.
It was Ellie.
Yeah, I thought it was a guy for the longest time. And
I think everyone thought that was a guy because the hands are pretty pretty Seinfeld-ish.
What are those old men that play the guitar in the corner?
Yeah, there's blood
campfire?
all over the hands and look very rough.
Yeah, you would never think it was a girl's hands. So then you hear the piano play, then you see a face and a song, right? You start singing a song, and you're like, that's a girl. That has to be Ellie. So
yep, that was me.
And the best thing about it is that people at that moment started to scream.
Yeah.
And
it was weird.
But the thing is, unlike like for example Marvel versus Capcom 4, they were really loud and then really quiet because they wanted to hear what was going to happen next.
And then it went really quiet, and then as the trailer progressed, she continued to sing her song, and during that portion you saw 3 people that were killed, and right in front of her there was a dead body. I think that she had raided a house.
I'm not sure. I mean, looking at it at first, I thought maybe she killed some clickers or something, but they look like people.
They look like regular people, yeah.
Are there fireflies, and that's why they're firefly symbol? So I don't know what's happening. Is she killing fireflies now? I have no idea.
Well, anyway, you see her... forgot his name, for God's sakes. Joel. You see Joel come in from the back and turn into the room where she's sitting and says, what are you doing? And again, everyone started to scream because they saw the side of his face.
Yeah, he knew what I mean. Like, you couldn't tell. As soon as you saw his profile and the beard, you could tell.
Then a scream happened, and then it went quiet. And as it went quiet, she said something to the effect of, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill them all.
It's like, I'm going to kill him, and this time I'm going to kill them all or something.
So I wonder what happened, because I don't want to spoil anything, but this is very controversial if she is killing fireflies.
Could it be that she had a boyfriend and then something happened to him?
The firefly killed him or something?
Yeah,
I don't know. Interesting.
But we don't know. And that's what makes the trailer so great.
Don't forget, she's a lesbian almost.
Yes, I know. Or a girlfriend. I'm just saying. The trailer at the end of that got a massive applause. Then you saw the Naughty Dog hand.
Yeah.
The dog paw. And it just got applause on applause.
Yeah, it was amazing. It said Left 4 Dead, and then you had a hesitation, and then it went Part 2, and everybody went crazy.
Yeah, and I remember before the trailer played, Sean Layden said, we have something for you. It's really early in development. Like, really, really early in development. I was like...
Yeah, it's like, don't expect to have it anytime soon.
But when he said that, I thought we were going to see some crap animation.
Well, when we first saw Last of Us the first time, I think it was gameplay, and we're like, is this actual gameplay? It looks amazing. Mm-hmm. So I could understand why he'd say that partially because of how Last of Us 1 was revealed, and like, hey, don't expect to actually see some gameplay over this for a while.
I think the game... I think Naughty Dog... has made a really good, has a really good ability to grab people with story. And I think their Uncharted series shows that. And so does this. So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, that was the show. That was the press conference.
But here's the big talking about press conference. I just want to bring something up. I know it really sucked for people that couldn't make it in. We were in there. 3,000 people were able to make it in, and the rest of the people were not.
That were outside, like watching it on their computer or something, probably had a better experience than we did. Like as far as like seeing it and the gameplay, but being in there with all the energy around you and all the people excited, like seeing the people right there in front of you. I mean, that is what makes it fun for me.
And whenever I sat, I know it's kind of weird, and I don't know if everyone feels the same way as I did. When you go to the PSX convention and you're sitting there and you're like, it's not just PSX conventions. I'm sure it's any convention.
And you're sitting there thinking, why are these seats so damn small?
Maybe.
Why is it so goddamn cold?
Those seats were tiny.
They were tiny, but the thing that I was thinking is, am I with my people? Like, you feel at home with the people next to you, and you kind of nerd out together. There were some games I had no idea what they were.
Well, no, it's like that's one thing.
Pretty much my entire experience.
Moving on to
what is all this?
The show floor and the convention overall. I felt like I could talk to more people this convention. Like, you just talk to random people, turn around in line, talk to them.
Right, because more people were open. San Francisco was kind of a developer-heavy group, because a lot of people had, a lot of, like, the people that were coming to it were from the local developers, I think. I don't know, just me.
I don't know. It didn't feel like people were, like, talking as freely back then, but this time it was, like, you're standing in line talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Moving on to the conference overall and the show floor. What did you guys think? What was your favorite game that you saw
on the show floor?
On the show floor.
You mean like favorite game, like demo wise?
Yeah, like Horizon, Farpoint, For Honor, Resident Evil.
Dude, Farpoint by far.
I agree. Farpoint was my favorite as well.
I think Farpoint was my favorite VR game.
I mean, I'm really excited for Horizon, but it wasn't on the Pro, and the frame rate was not very good.
Well,
like I said, I think it's going to be one of those games where steady 30 is only achievable with Pro.
The mechanics was nice though. Like,
no, it was cool.
Around,
it was cool. I'm gonna have a lot of fun with it. I'm still really excited for it.
I think I'm gonna buy it.
I think it was good. I just think that it's. I think that my favorite VR game was Farpoint, but Farpoint's very, very limited in what it's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to the developer about it, about how it seems to be a lot of forward motion. Like, you can go back, but it's a lot of forward motion, and there's no really point to go back. And
yeah,
I noticed in that, like, games like Edge of Nowhere does the same thing. It's third person, and you can go where you look pretty much, but all you ever do is go forward.
Like World of Warcraft.
One thing with Farpoint though was the gun. When you looked in the gun sight, it was amazing. It felt like I really had a gun on my hand.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the one of the biggest issues I always had with VR.
That you're actually
how
using
accurate
a gun.
Could it be? Yeah, I completely forgot.
I really wish that they had that rig for the.
It didn't feel as good to me as it would on the Vive, but the fact that you're actually holding a gun, I mean, it was cool.
Well,
the controller is cool.
The controller that looks like a gun is cool. Only thing I wish it had in it, and I really wish it had this, was rumble.
It does.
But I couldn't feel it. It wasn't as strong.
Oh yeah,
as
it didn't have any. You couldn't feel any vibrations in it.
I couldn't either.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. I felt it. It just wasn't very strong. I actually was surprised. I thought this gun that they had was basically just you insert the Move controller and you insert another Move controller or something like that. But it's actually a controller itself. So I didn't expect that. And this is going to be compatible with a lot of other games.
I agree with you. I thought it was basically like a rig, and you just put a Move controller in it, you're ready to roll.
Yeah.
It's not.
What I told the developer though is there's a joystick on the top, and I was hoping I could use that to quickly turn around, because you can only go so far by turning your head before you can't like point your gun back. So he was like, well, you think you want that, but playtesting, everybody got sick. It's like, okay.
It could be true. I mean, some people don't.
But I mean, immediately whipping around when you're used to like just looking yourself.
Well, I can take it on rigs. Playing for like 3 hours. I know I'll get sick after like 3 hours, but I'm not going to be doing it all the time.
I just saw that when I was playing it. I don't know if you guys had the same situation. So Farpoint. Let me start from the beginning with this. Farpoint is a first-person shooter with VR. And you get a specialty gun, and you'll see some of it on our YouTube video. We'll show off the gun so you can see it. But the thing that I didn't like when I was playing it is when you're walking forward, all of a sudden, nowhere, your angle switched because the game was forcing you had timers in each section.
Well, they did that for the demo. That was
Yeah,
just
it's a demo.
I understand that, but I'm trying to explain you something. So when you're moving forward in the demo, that's fine.
Oh, I know what you're going to.
But then once you moved, when you're running, all of a sudden out of nowhere, your motion changed. So now
You were
had to
slanted.
change your footing to face a different direction.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? I shouldn't have to change my footing constantly. I know you have to change
It
your
was
footing.
slanted,
It's
right?
just for
The
demo
angle
purposes.
looked-
It won't be as drastic in the actual game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, and it got me annoyed but anyway, I did a really good job. And to change guns, it really felt more natural. Take the gun, slap your back with the gun, the thing, and you're pulling another gun off your back, and that's how you change guns. Every gun had a secondary gun motion.
No, you lifted it up, and then it would change. I was switching between guns like crazy. I was so scared. This goddamn spider jumping in. First time I didn't know what was going on, and then sometimes if you moved a little too quickly, like it wouldn't read it, and so you'd see like your character's body kind of flop, and I thought it was one of the spiders on me.
Oh yeah, you could
I
see
was-
your shoulder. It was a little
I was
weird.
like freaking out.
I had to recalibrate mine once or twice.
So I had a really funny moment. So I started the game, and the guy said you could do anything with the gun you want. You could take the gun, you could point it that way, point it up, point it down, point it wherever you point it, it points. So I took the gun, pointed at my face, and fired 3 rounds. And he's like, "Oh, you can kill yourself." I was like, "Oh, okay." So I
Stole my idea.
how'd I steal the idea?
My
I didn't know
idea-
I played first.
But I told you my idea when we were
No, you
waiting.
didn't.
Yes, I did.
I never even heard you say anything.
My idea was that
Never
you play the
heard
whole
you.
game, and right when you get to the end, you just stop, turn around, and shoot yourself in the head in the game.
I didn't even hear
You
you. I
did that
wasn't there.
first.
And I wasn't even there.
Yes, you were right next
No,
to
I
me.
wasn't.
For
I was playing-
45 minutes.
I wasn't next to you at all.
Oh my god.
You weren't even there.
Plagiarism. What do you mean I wasn't even there? I
You
was there
weren't
the whole
even there.
time.
You're like a bad father. You were never there.
Oh my.
Anyway, so
Ellie,
Sent money.
you played the game. Was it as good as Rush of Blood?
No.
What are you talking about? I played Rush of Blood as well.
Just because of the theming?
It didn't have the dainty hands.
Oh. Yeah, well, you're holding a gun.
I guess my hands are dainty.
I don't know. This one reloaded a lot quicker than Rush of Blood. When I was playing Rush of Blood, I was getting pissed off because I couldn't reload the gun as fast, and it was not registering reload sometimes. Whereas this was registering every freaking time. It was nice. I think there's a lot of room for improvement though, because the gun controller is a lot more. I mean, it's new technology. I tried everything to get information out of him, the guy, about how much is it, when is it coming. They wouldn't say anything. Apparently, this is a gun they developed, and then this is the game they developed for the gun.
Well, yeah. They developed the gun, and then the gun's compatible with this game, and it's
Yeah.
going to be compatible with a lot of other games. So I'm
And
excited to see the other
It
games.
was a
it's
huge
compatible with.
setup too. They had at the show floor. They had a huge design of the
Yeah,
main
no, I
monster.
think this was probably the most impressive booth out of all the booths.
all the monsters kind of look like the head grabbers from
Like giant head crabs.
giant head crabs from Half-Life.
Half-Life, yeah.
Yeah. That's what they look like, but there was a bigger one at the end. So you got to see a glimpse of a boss, and it ended. That's what made me angry.
Didn't you almost kill it?
Yeah, I shot 5 rockets at it, and then he's like, okay, it's over. I was like, oh, son of a...
Because they had a timer. So
It didn't have a timer for the end boss. It died when he came out. He said everyone had the same
Yeah,
thing he said.
it always ended when it jumps at you.
Right when it jumps at you, it ended. So I was like, this sucked.
So non-VR game. What was our favorite game on the show floor?
I think honestly my
For
favorite
Honor.
For Honor was my favorite
Hands
non-VR game as a team game, because it really feels like a team game. I think we did pretty good. Allie did pretty good.
You
I
liked it?
killed a lot of things. I
I killed
liked
a
it.
crap load of things.
Ellie, what was your favorite game on the show floor besides For Honor?
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania.
Sonic Mania is. Did Sonic have a lot of people in line?
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
The guy in front of us when we were waiting to play it was terrible.
Don't be mean.
He was so bad.
He heard him. I swear, he heard.
I was like,
William.
oh my god. He was
And then he,
backtracking.
walks away
He
all-
died 3
You
times.
can't talk to me.
He lost all of his rings and then he went to go fight the boss. I was like, at least try to get 1 ring before you go to the boss. What's wrong with you?
That's not how you get a
Has
platinum.
you never played a Sonic game?
It might be someone like someone that doesn't know how to play. But so you like Sonic then, Ellie? Your favorite single player game?
Sure, it's the most memorable one. It just brought me back to my childhood where I was poor and the only thing we had was a Sega Genesis, and our favorite game with my brothers was playing Sonic
I
Mania.
wish I played it.
Sonic
Sonic
the Hedgehog.
yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. No,
The original, right?
Yes, the
You didn't
original.
like Let It Die, Ellie?
I liked it. It was silly, but I'm just saying.
I feel like you. Oh, okay.
Sonic the Hedgehog was more memorable for me.
The humor of Let It Die is really funny. It's really ridiculous.
I thought the creep tone would be really interesting to you.
I think Ellie is pushing on something called nostalgia, and that's what
member berries. You member?
Yeah, but if it was something I've never ever played before, yeah, Let It Die was pretty awesome.
I thought the giveaway was pretty cool. That little pin.
Yeah, that was a cool pin.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a Farpoint pin, an extra Farpoint pin. Maybe in the future we can do some kind of giveaway for it.
We could do a care package.
To
whoever deserves
a wounded
it.
soldier on the field.
Honestly,
the best nerd confession we get.
Let's do a fan art contest.
So what best confession gets one.
So what I was gonna say is, instead of you doing all your guys' ideas, once we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we can give away the Farpoint pin. We can give away a couple.
For every
things.
1,000, we'll give one item.
Yeah, 1,000 shouldn't be hard to hit. So we should be able to get to maybe at 100 we'll give away one.
What are the items though? Is the question.
I have a Farpoint pin extra. I don't know what you guys have that's extra.
Nothing.
Wow. All I have are like pins. I have an extra Farpoint pin, and
Didn't
I have
you get two hats?
I have no. I have an extra spear for
I don't need my
Horizon.
spear.
So I have a blow up spear for Horizon. Will's got a Horizon spear. We also have a extra Ace Combat 7 hat.
And a book.
Yeah, we have a few of those books actually.
We have a PSX book. So we'll do a contest soon, and we'll announce the contests on our nerdconfessions.net site. And if you want to go ahead, we'll put something together, and then we'll have it a contest where we're going to put like the pin, the hat, and the PSX book all in a little package. The winner gets it. I think it should be for 1,000 viewers on YouTube. Once we get 1,000, we'll just send it to
Our best confession.
or the best confession, something like that. We'll figure it out when we get there. Right now, I don't know how to do a giveaway, so we're gonna hash out those ideas, and we'll give away that stuff. The Farpoint pin is actually pretty cool. But anyway, so talking about Gran Turismo. So Gran Turismo is a release coming out. So at the PSX, they had a non-VR demo and a VR demo. So the non-VR demo was just driving against other people or driving by yourself, and the VR demo was driving by yourself on basically like a Gran Turismo type track, like a Grand Tour type track, or like a basically Formula One track with a Le Mans car, kind of like one of those prototype cars. But as going to your question, Tommy, you said what I think about the VR thing.
Yeah,
it would have been junk without the controllers, without the full bucket seat and the pedals and the responsive. Were the
graphics any good? Because
graphics were okay. Were good.
I saw footage of Drive Club in VR and did not look very good. It was like they had to cut a lot of the effects. It was enough. It was really good for what we were playing, and I felt. But let me explain why I mean without the seat. So you got a clutch, a brake, and a gas pedal, and then you also got a fully reactive steering wheel
made by Thrustmasters, who make very good steering wheel components for games.
So going back to that, when you're turning, you feel the resistance of the tires on the ground, and imagine if you were on the dirt, you felt the wheel also lose resistance. So without that whole thing, the VR would have been junk.
It was hard to keep control. You had to really grip the wheel.
Yeah.
When you hit the dirt and stuff. They actually said that they turned down the sensitivity, but not just that, but the shock that you get, the vibrations in the driving. They had to turn it down a lot, but if you turned it up to normal, you would feel it. When you drive, you feel the shakiness.
Yeah.
Their steering wheels are actually so good that the Formula One driver Alonso, I forgot his last name, said is very similar to the Formula One car. And if you notice, the ones that were not VR testing it, they had the surround sound built into their little car thing that they sat in, and the bass was so loud that it would rumble the car like vibrations. So whenever you hit the gas, you could feel the vibrations of the car going. So I feel like if they had done VR but without headphones, and they did it with like the sound built into the car, it might have felt more realistic, because you would have felt the vibrations from the bass all around you and feel like you're in the car instead of just in your head, but nothing in your body's really vibrating.
And what I meant, my point is that VR is not something I really need to play a Gran Turismo game. If I with the wheel,
It's more immersive.
I drove better though, I tell you that, compared to it.
I understand you drove better, but you drove better also because of the wheel.
No.
If you play with
I have a wheel. No, I have a wheel.
But if you had a controller only, tell me if you had a controller only, would the VR be better? I don't think so. I think the wheel brought it to that level where the VR was worth it.
No, the wheel helps, but the VR gives you also that it really enables, because when you're driving in VR, when you turn your head, you actually feel like you're driving, compared to where if you even
with
if
the
you're
wheel,
with the wheel,
without the controller,
even if
no.
you use the wheel without the VR, there's still the lack of head turning. You only get that one perception.
But there was also blurs on the side. You don't noticing the blur.
There was a very faint blur, obviously, yes, because there's still
because the motion sickness.
Yeah, but when you're driving in VR, like when you drive normally,
Save resources too.
when you drive normally, you'll turn your head a little bit to check your side, see ahead. Like, it's easier to drive that way. Whereas if you're driving with a controller in your hand, or even with the regular steering wheel but not VR, you can't like look ahead of what the turn is coming up or what it's going to be. I was driving and I would turn my head and I could see the turn coming up way before I got there. So I was able to anticipate and adjust my driving compared to if I didn't have VR.
Yeah, but I don't think the VR was something that is going to be a game changer in that. It's cool. I just don't think that it's very much better with it if you have a controller in your hand.
I think it's a cheaper version for people who can't afford to get like those curved monitors.
Yeah. I think it's between the monitors and the VR.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper.
If I get the wheel, then yeah, it becomes a super awesome fun thing.
Yeah, you build a little. You can buy their play seats and put it all together.
I don't even need this. I don't even need the pedals. I mean, the pedals were pretty much worthless because the controller, the steering wheel had paddle shifters, so you don't need a clutch.
Well, you still need to gas and stop.
Well, I mean, they're worthless.
That's part of the fun.
I know, but I was saying they're worthless comparative to like someone that doesn't have those at home when they're just using.
Did you notice?
Tactile feel.
Did you notice
Yeah.
though? I pointed this out to one of the guys who was there. I was like, have you noticed that when people drive, their right foot switches between gas and brake?
Most people are supposed to drive with left and foot right when you have a clutch like that.
Yeah. What?
You're supposed to use both feet.
Yeah, but all the cars are automatic, so that was funny.
Oh, he turned it on for you? Mine was manual.
They told me most of the cars are all automatic.
Not mine.
Well, mine was automatic, and all the people.
That's why you're driving so well.
And all the people we saw were automatic as well.
No, he told me mine was a manual.
Your might have been, but the rest of the people we saw, and when I talked to the guy, he said, yeah, most people, ironically, when they play a video game, they put both feet because they don't know what to do, kind of like go-kart racing, because they're used to putting both feet because your brake and go are on two separate sides. But when you drive, it's all one area, so you're gonna have the mindset switches. You're already preparing for a game. I don't know, a little fun motion.
My thing was, whenever I was playing, he's like, do you want me to switch this to automatic? I'm like, no, just leave it manual. I want to see what it's like.
I think you should just buy this, Tommy. Just buy it.
Yeah.
What?
I think it was a good driving
You're
game.
in love with it. I can tell.
I like it. I don't.
Just
I think your
I'm gonna
Xbox
wait till
controller will work with
Farpoint's controller comes out. Then I really might.
Yeah, the Farpoint one is the Farpoint controller is really cool. And didn't they say it was $200?
No, they never set a price.
No, the controller is not $200. It's got to be the price of a regular controller. Why would you think it's $200?
Because I assume everything from PlayStation
It's pretty cheap for $200.
I don't know, but I just know that for me, VR alone was not something that was worth $400. But with all these new things where you can use a steering wheel in a racing game, a shooting gun in a shooting game, if they can incorporate, the flight simulator too, I don't know, it would make it way more.
Of course they could do that.
I think PSX was very VR heavy this year.
It was super VR heavy.
Resident Evil had a VR.
Dude, they had a whole VR section.
Ace Combat had a VR. Farpoint had a VR. Gran Turismo had a VR. You had a VR.
The Thrustmasters did VR.
Ellie's favorite game was on VR. the dinosaur wrangling game.
Did you like that one, Ellie? Did it remind you of The Sims?
Yeah, it reminds me of Sims, so I like it.
A lot of games are in VR.
It was
They had a whole section of VR.
VR RTS.
Actually, we tried Rigs in VR, which I have. I know it's been out, but I've never played it before. And it was interesting because when we were playing, I didn't realize there was a speaker in there.
There's a microphone built into the headset.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there, and the lady's like yelling at me the instructions, and I can't hear because I have the headset on, and I can't. She's yelling from like way behind me, and all of a sudden I hear Will like, Tommy. I'm like, what? Hello? Jesus, is that you? And just,
This is your conscience, Tommy.
yeah, that's
You
what he
haven't
said.
spoken in a
He straight
while.
up said, "This is your conscience." I haven't spoken in a while, and I'm like trying to score a goal. I'm like, what's going on here? And I can just hear Ellie giggling in the back on the other end of my headset. I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
They, from what I remember when I was playing it, because you guys went in a separate group and I went in a separate group.
Yeah, you always go.
And when I went in the separate group, we were playing, and all I remember is the coach that we had wasn't even coaching us, was coaching the other team. So I knew what was going on. She's like, "Oh, you have overdrive. Go return it. Go turn it in. You have overdrive."
Cheater.
And I was like, okay, so go hunt the person that has overdrive then?
Somebody was really loud. I just remember somebody's coach was so loud that I was conflicting with my coach. I didn't know what was going on.
I don't know who it was.
Okay,
I got first place though.
So, question for you, Sohill.
What's up?
What did it feel like to hold Game Over Greggy from Kind of Funny Games in your arms?
He was very light, and I didn't think he was going to be that light.
He was huge. I'm not expecting him
He
to
was
be so huge.
I mean, not fat. You meant like tall, right?
Yeah, I mean tall.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
He
or
was
something.
actually looked pretty skinny from being part of Team Fat, like
Yeah.
he says.
Okay, he's probably in his own mind. But anyway, moving on. He was really light, and I thought it would be funny to return the favor. He always picks people up, so I said I'll pick you up this time, and he let me do it. So that was really weird, but I did it. I picked him up.
He said, "I'm glad you asked."
Yeah, well, I asked because I didn't. Some people will just grab him and pick him up, and not ask, and he'd be like, "Oh my god, this guy just picked me up." But I asked, "Can I
you
pick
like
you
weren't
up?"
ready.
Yeah, but he was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I was like, "All right."
Colin seemed the shyest out of all of them.
I have
Which
no
one
idea.
talked to you, Ellie? Was it Colin?
No idea.
One with glasses, or
Was the one
without
with the
glasses?
beard?
No, not the one with the glasses.
Was it the one with the beard?
Yeah.
The one with the beard.
Oh, it was Colin that talked to you then. Maybe he just likes the women.
Maybe. I just know that the camera guy was really
what
quick.
Will's talking about is we waited actually for a autograph signing with Kind of Funny Games, the guys that do the
PS I Love You
XOXO, and they were having a panel, and during that panel, all I could see was Greg picking people up. So I said, "I'm gonna pick you up."
Picking up that David Jaffe.
David Jaffe was picked up. I don't think he tried to pick up Shuhei Yoshida. I don't think he would allow it.
Sure, you should is too old.
Well, yeah, that's true. But anyway, the panel was kind of funny because they gave out a Vita, I think, and I don't have a Vita, and I wish I could have got one, but
You could have gotten that second platinum for Mayo.
that would have been nice. But anyway, picking them up was really fun. So we have a video that's out right now with Tommy talking to some of the developers, and I totally recommend you guys check it out. And it's not everybody on the floor because honestly, it would have taken forever, and a lot of people didn't want to talk about a lot of things because a lot of things are under wraps.
Yeah, there's a lot of exclusivity, and I can tell you right now, I had to do some sweet talking to get some of this info out.
But moving on to PSX.
Can you stop saying moving on?
PSX.
Like every 5 seconds. Moving on.
Well, moving on. PSX seemed a lot smaller than previous years. First year was small. Second year was bigger. This year was small again. So I don't know. Are they going to continue them? I don't know.
Felt like that a lot of stuff. A lot of people were there.
I felt like there's a lot of shit going on.
I think it's a lot of people because it's in Anaheim. Anaheim.
Last year it had 2 floors, but I don't think the floors had as much content as we had on the main show floor this time.
Right, but I think they had a lot more people at this one because it's in Anaheim. Anaheim has LA. You have San Diego. You have.
I mean, thinking about it, I guess everybody was right in the fact that the press conference area was not as large as it was previously, even though they had the bleachers, like stadium seating.
Think of it this way,
but
right?
the show floor seemed pretty large.
The Star Wars convention, right, is how like what's the length between each one?
It's every year.
The Star Wars convention?
Yep.
But they have the same setup, right?
They have it in different
They
countries.
have different countries in different places.
But it's the same setup. So generally,
Not the same setup.
I doubt it. They don't. How in the hell are they always changing up with the same thing?
They change every year.
No way. They probably have
they
the
don't
same
take-
setup in different states.
No, they don't take anything new. Everything's new.
No way. It's impossible. There's only so
How many
many
did
ways.
you go? How many did you go to?
There's only so many ways you can change that shit. How many times can
They go to different states every time. They never go to the same place.
I know, which is what I'm going to. My point is because they do that, they probably just have the same setup. Whereas with PlayStation, since every year they're doing like different games,
No,
they
it's
maybe
because
not have had
PlayStation.
as
No,
much.
it's just PlayStation made a mistake. What PlayStation did is the year before last, they started selling tickets. I think it was like May or April or something like that.
Hey, look, you're talking about the setup. They use a lot of these setups for E3 for.
No,
I'm talking about the mistake was in ticket sales. So what they did is they released the tickets really late this year, and they never.
Well, they announced it really late.
Yeah, announced it really late. And
No,
then you could buy.
I'm not talking about the amount of people there. I'm talking about the setup, right?
Well, I'm
He's
talking
saying
about-
it wasn't 2 floors.
That's what I'm explaining to you.
What I'm saying
So
is
they sold tickets thinking that they never put a cap on them. So what they did is they're like, okay, we're going to sell that many tickets, and they're going to only rent this specific room. If they rented the basketball court at the Anaheim Convention Center, everybody could have fit. Everybody.
No, I'm saying,
But they didn't do that.
If they they maybe they didn't have as much material to put out, because since every year they're putting, I mean, how many games? How many?
This is the
things
best
can they put
conference
out?
of all the conferences.
I don't know what you're talking about because it makes no sense.
Okay, so
We're talking about seating space. We're not
No,
talking
I'm
about
not talking.
content.
I'm not talking seating space. I'm talking like things like the show floor, like the size amount.
Oh, the show floor was fine. I'm talking about where the people could sit, and the biggest complaint is
I'm not talking
that's
about
what
that
we're
at all.
talking about.
Jesus.
He doesn't.
I
know
think
what
they
we're talking
partially did this because they wanted to do the Capcom Cup and have the seating be.
Yeah, that's
about.
exactly
Yeah, the
what it
Capcom
was.
Cup was really cool. When we were there, that was really nice.
The Capcom Cup was at last year's, but it wasn't as big a deal. As this year.
I bet you they made it in the seating for the talk area and the keynote intentionally small so that they would have a lot of people outside and make it feel like it's so packed we couldn't fit everyone in.
I think the keynote stage was the same from last year's, wasn't it, Will? It was the same thing from what I remember. The
What do you
keynote
mean?
stage? It was exactly the same stage from last year.
I mean, same layout.
Yeah, same layout. And what they did is
It was just wider
I
last year.
think they had all the press on the right and all on the left in 2 bleachers, or just press.
Yeah, those are reserved.
I did think that their I think the show floor, if you're asking that question, I think the show floor was beautiful. Compared
was
to other
nice.
years, it was pretty pretty. I don't remember.
I didn't like the fact that they had Horizon, The Last Guardian, and Gran Turismo all the way tucked in that corner.
They did that on purpose.
I know they didn't have room, but I was like, there was no signage.
It wasn't.
saying,
It
hey,
wasn't.
there's shit
It
over
wasn't
here.
just on room. I think those are the games that
The
people want to play.
only
the
annoying
most.
part for me was being able to find Kojima, because the autograph area was
you didn't see him?
like in a really weird space.
I saw him like 4
Yeah,
times.
the autograph line was behind the stage on the left.
I know, it was really weird. And then it seemed like it was kind of a free for all the first day. The second day is when they organized it.
Yeah.
So-
I think it's because Anaheim Convention took over.
Oh yeah,
That's what the guy told me. He said the first day they allowed the Sony employees to use all the lines, and then Anaheim Convention team took over.
Were
the next day.
you able to see Kojima, Will?
I saw him at the PlayStation.
Did you shake his hand?
Would you stop this?
Did you rub his fingers?
So I thought the convention PSX was the best one they've had so far, in my opinion. I think it even is better than the first one. They had some good games the first one, and I mean the crowds weren't as good. It wasn't as crowded the first experience, but I really think they had a lot of quality, the most quality experiences that you could have on the show floor this one, and the conference was amazing. So.
Yeah, I think that this was the best organized conference. It wasn't like the last conference was kind of weird because they talked crap on Tim Schafer, and that was kind of weird. And I never forgot that. It said, now introducing Tim Schafer's shit show, and then Tim Schafer came out. I was like, what the hell?
That's because it's not for the media, it's for us.
Yeah, I get it, but it was this one that seemed a little more fun, and then the conference was nice. The show floor was really pretty. It was really well put together, where you can get to things really easily, and you didn't have to like fight.
There was one thing I hated.
Can you wait till I finish?
Okay.
Every time, like
moving on.
So the one thing that I didn't like was what Will said is there was a the show floor was really nice, but to tell you where everything was, even though you had a mobile map on your phone and an app, it didn't tell you exactly where you needed to go to get certain things. Like if you wanted to go play a certain game, it said, yeah, it's over there. But I don't know the layout of the whole convention. Like, give me an anchor, something like that, so I can tell.
And the lines, oh god,
that's
the
the
lines.
Same, every single convention's like that.
Sucked so bad.
The first,
my
the
god.
first one, the only bad line was the order.
Yeah.
This one actually was Farpoint, Ace Combat, and
Gran
Resident Evil.
Turismo. No, Gran Turismo.
It was because of the VR ones, and every VR had like a 20-minute.
Yeah.
Dude, Farpoint was like 2 hours.
The honest,
it was worth that.
The honest truth
Oh,
of
of course it's worth it, but still.
The honest truth is that these developers, yeah, I understand they want to give a lot more gameplay to the people that are playing, but when you come to a convention like this, don't come with 5 stalls. Come with
Dude, that was good. There's the guys for the Grand Threats who were testing out VR with their stuff. They had like 2 race cars. It's like, dude, do you not understand that there's gonna be a crap ton of people trying this out?
Yeah, I get it, but when you have a AAA game like Resident Evil,
Like Gran Turismo had 12 stalls on a regular and then like 4 VR.
Yeah.
That's probably the most I saw. That and like I would say Uncharted.
No,
they had 30 people on Uncharted.
Farpoint had the most VR headsets, but if you're gonna come to this kind of thing, you need to like really decide to go double, because that line.
I think if they want to make a VR demo 15 minutes, have more freaking headsets.
Yeah, if you're gonna make the shorter the VR, the less headsets you can have. And then the thing that I saw, I think the most people that could play at one time was
Uncharted.
No, that Battleship game, the one you're playing.
No, dude, Uncharted by far. Each stall had 3. It was literally over 30 some people at a time. I was bored and I counted.
Well, no, didn't the Battleship game have 10 on each person, and then each and there's 3
No,
groups?
there was like 3 people sitting next to me.
No, I think they had 5 on each line.
I don't think so,
'Cause
but I can tell you,
there was 40 people.
Uncharted was a lot of people were playing it because they knew it was going to be super popular.
Even the single player games had long lines.
That was there last year. Guys.
Whoa.
Let's move on.
The lines.
While I address this head lice I got from all those PlayStation VR headsets. Next topic.
And now, the Game Awards 2016.
So Ellie and I went to the award show. I thought it was a pretty fun experience to see it this year. Jeff Keighley has been doing it year over year. It's not as big as it used to be, but it seemed to be all about the games this year. They advertised the games. It seemed to be funded by the games this year. So we got a lot of advertisements for games like Titanfall. They had advertised in the breaks. Ellie, they did have one advertisement that was kind of weird. Do you remember what it was that wasn't game related?
Razors.
Yeah.
Gillette razors, was it? No.
No.
It wasn't Gillette.
It was some other name.
And then Razorhead Man.
Schick
razors. It was Schick razors, and they have the Razor Man.
Oh, I was gonna guess Build-A-Bear for some reason.
So, what did you think of the show overall, Ellie?
It was like watching an awards show on TV, only you weren't watching TV.
So when you guys are watching it, you guys went there. How many people were sitting in the stands?
Not many.
It was more than halfway full.
How many people do you think that was, though? Just ballpark.
I have no idea.
Well, let's find out. How much does that theater fit?
The Microsoft Theater? I will be looking it up while you guys continue your conversation.
Okay.
Will, didn't you say that you almost got ran over by a particular awardee?
Oh, yes. So as we were entering the theater, and I found out later this is because he didn't want to do the red carpet kind of walk-in. Boogie 2988, which was one of the guys that was nominated for Trending Gamer of the Year, went through on a scooter right in front of us.
As we were waiting for the doors to open.
For the doors to open, and almost run over my foot.
Didn't he win?
He did.
He did win. Spoilers. Just kidding.
Hey, we also saw him at PS.
Yeah, we had lunch right next to him at PSS.
So if you said it was half full, there was 3,550 people there.
Holy crap! That's a lot of people.
If it's 7,100 people,
It was half full.
yeah. So that's 3,000 people. Is not bad.
And considering it was on a Wednesday, a Thursday.
But again, this is not like this is mainly people.
So it was kind of controversial I think, was it
Controversial.
2 years ago or 1 year ago? I think it was 2014 at the Game Awards show. They have some good trailers that I released during the show, and they first showed No Man's Sky at the Game Awards show in 2014, I think. And that was a trailer that everybody got their hopes up on. This year, I think they kind of kept it to a minimum. They didn't show things that are kind of like over the top, with the exception of Death Stranding. And that Death Stranding trailer, Ellie, what did you think of it? It was like what they opened up with, pretty much.
With Kojima's thing.
Yeah, Death Stranding.
It seemed like a game I would play. It's creepy. It was weird. It was dark.
It's when I watched that trailer, it's like Hideo Kojima said, "How many of my friends that are really big actors can I take and put in this trailer, or directors, and make them do weird shit?"
Are you talking about the weird one where all the whales and shit were dead?
Yeah,
The doll.
That was the first one. We're
That was
talking
the
about.
first
The
trailer.
second one.
Wait. And
The first one had the whales.
So he has that guy from Walking Dead. I forget his name.
Norman
Norman
Reedus.
Reedus.
Norman Reedus is in it. Then he has one of Ellie's favorite directors.
Tim
in
Burton.
it. Not Tim Burton. The Spanish guy.
Oh, I know his name. Michael Bay.
No.
Spanish guy.
Shit.
Ellie, give me the name.
Which Spanish
George
guy?
Cameron.
The guy that did
George
Pan's
Lucas?
Labyrinth.
Oh, you don't remember his name after I talked about his exhibit a few
Steven
weeks ago?
Spielberg.
I forgot his name. It's on top of the tip of my
Steven
tongue.
Spielberg.
Guillermo del Toro.
Isn't he
So-
that guy on the Jimmy Falcon?
Can you shut up for a second? For God's
Guillermo?
sakes.
Can you stop, Tommy?
I just
Like,
want to
seriously,
know.
you're getting on my nerves when you're like just shouting names out. Just relax. Just Guillermo del Toro, and who else did he have in it? Some other
He had that one guy. I don't know his name.
the guy from
Can I shout a name out?
yeah, shout a name out.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck you.
What the hell?
Because the whole time he was like Michael Bay, Donkey Kong. He's the guy from Doctor
Hannibal.
Strange. Doctor Strange.
Who's the guy from Hannibal?
Hannibal, but Doctor Strange, and also Doctor Strange, the main villain, Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
So he's in it as well. So there's like all these guys. Can I make a comment about some PSX I forgot to make earlier?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows Xbox has been gaining sales, right? In the last 2 months,
Has it?
in the last 3 months.
It's been outselling PlayStation in the U.S. Yes.
The Xbox S, right?
Xbox One S.
Comparative to the Pro.
No,
And-
no, not comparative to the Pro. Comparative to the regular one.
Sorry, I meant to say the regular one. So the PS4. And guess what PlayStation did? Said, hold my beer. I'm about to shut this motherfucker down. And they release Last of Us trailer. That's all I have to say. That's all I could think of.
All right, then. So this trailer was really weird. And Ellie really liked it. But what led up to the trailer was last year, Kojima was awarded, was it Game of the Year or something like that for Metal Gear Solid 5. But because of Konami, he wasn't able to go over there for the award. So ever since then, Jeff Keighley wanted to give him the award. He actually made a big speech about him not getting the award at the last game show.
They're making out.
He kept wanting to give him the award, and he said he was very humble and didn't want to take the award. He just wanted to accept the award at the next game show or something like that. He didn't want the reward. But at the game show, at the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley went up there, was given the speech. He started tearing up in the eyes. He got very lovey-dovey with Hideo Kojima, almost crying. I think, did he have a tear? I don't remember.
His voice was kind of cracking.
Yeah, he's cracking up, getting teary-eyed. Hideo Kojima too. He's a little teary-eyed. So
he was like, "Oh my gosh, dude!"
they're pretty much kissing and making out. These two, a lot of love between the two of them.
I felt the power.
Then Kojima goes on stage, says, "I love you," to Jeff Keighley. Says, "I love you, Jeff Keighley."
He told he'd love us.
And then he said he loves us too. And then Hideo Kojima said, "This is my gift to you. I thought I lost everything, but I really didn't, and I have all of you." And then he showed the trailer. So it's kind of a cool reveal.
Was he saying Japanese or English?
English.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't need a translator. He's hardcore.
He did his hair flip.
He did a hair flip.
Ooh.
Not to avoid us this time.
I feel like he got a haircut. Like he can't do a hair flip as you guys
Not
described
as hardcore
it
as it used
before.
to. Yeah, probably. I don't think it's as long as it used to be. Not as bad.
Maybe he opened up a bit more. He was like, "Come to me, people. Talk to me."
But we got a lot of other cool reveals. I'm not going to go into detail about which award, but you can look it up if you want to. But I'm going to talk about some of the cool stuff that they showed off. So we got a really creepy trailer for Death Stranding, which we talked about. Duke Nukem is going to be in a remastered version of Bulletstorm that's going to be coming on PS4. They had that as a reveal. I thought that was kind of cool, but
Finally.
Duke Nukem kind of looked kind of lame and sounded kind of it didn't sound like a normal Duke Nukem. And we all know how bad the Duke Nukem game that oh crap, what's the developer name? Gearbox did.
Gearbox, yeah.
How bad that turned out. Even though it was in development for years.
But they took over the project for somebody, didn't they?
Yeah, well, yeah.
You feel bad for them.
They finished it up, but still it was bad. I thought Gearbox would, and Gearbox let me down with Aliens Colonial Marines too. So I'll never forget that. And then Boogie 2988 won Trending Gamer.
Ooh.
Ellie was excited for him.
Was I?
Yeah. You're
Why?
happy.
Why was I happy?
Because he's so fat and he's going to die soon.
So
Oh,
rude.
because he's my life goal? Is that what?
I never said.
I don't understand what's going on.
I don't know where this
He's your
is from.
spirit animal?
My spirit animal? What are you trying to say? Because he's fat? I'm like, what?
I don't know
He's fat?
how you arrived at this.
I never even knew how big he was.
He rides a little EBC thing.
He rides the little rascal around, right?
Yeah, he does.
I thought that was because he liked to go fast.
Yeah, but
Well, a lot of people give him a hard time about his weight, and it's actually partially it's because
Isn't that his character, though?
he has a character that he was able to make money off of with it,
Oh.
but he had an eating disorder, and then he got really fat, and when it came time to lose weight, he had like a problem with his legs, so the circulation in his legs all messed up. So he has to have his legs at heart level with his body at least 12 hours or 16 hours a day.
how do you know this?
He talked about it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did you talk about it at the Game Award, or did you
He talked about it on a YouTube video.
Oh, wow.
Devoted fan.
He could always do the cardiovascular workout that you used your arms for. The
Anywho.
machine that goes like this.
Anyhow, it's
Anyhow?
really hard for him to lose weight, partially because of all those things. He said that the swelling in his feet gets really messed up and that's partially why he's on the scooter when he's out and about. In addition to him being hard to walk.
I'm not here to judge anybody on their weight. All I want to know is that he won an award, and did he get any money for it?
He did make a great speech. I liked his speech. He was he was addressing that situation too. It's like, I'm big, I don't have like much movement, or I can't do many things, but like he went on the whole spiel of saying like video games help me go into a different world that nothing else has been able, or I haven't been able to do, because
Yeah, he's really humble.
Who did he
was
win
really
against?
happy about it. What?
Who did he win against?
Angry Joe and some other Twitch streamers I don't even know.
Oh.
I was either hoping for him or Angry Joe.
PewDiePie didn't win it?
He was never even nominated. This is the second time Angry Joe lost, though.
Because he's so
I
angry.
feel kind of bad for Angry Joe. I don't even know if he was there.
Maybe they
I think
want
it's
to
probably like,
see
fuck
Joe
this.
lose again.
So Boogie 2988 won. He got the reward from Peter Moore, which is kind of cool.
Who's Peter Moore?
The head of
Sorry.
EA. He used to
Okay.
be the head of Xbox 360
Okay, that's what I thought.
before it went downhill. And then Nolan North almost cried for Neil Druckmann when he won an award for Best Actor or something like that in the game.
Neil Druckmann was there?
Neil Druckmann was there, yeah.
Wow. I thought maybe
You don't remember that heartfelt speech that Nolan North made? He was like, I play the character, I do the speech, but I won't even exist or be here without the creative people behind it.
Oh.
And then he was talking to Neil Druckmann and all them about that, and he was very teary-eyed too. And then we got an amazing Prey trailer. Do you remember Prey?
Yes, I remember Prey.
It's looking like it's going to be really good. It almost looked like it's not real. Like it's CG only, not actual gameplay, but supposedly it was gameplay.
Oh, wow. What systems it's coming for? PlayStation Pro and...
Yeah, it's coming for both
PlayStation
Xbox
4,
One,
sorry.
4, yeah. And PC. And then
PC Master Race.
Jeff Keighley has a really good relationship with Reggie Fils-Aimé. So of course Reggie Fils-Aimé was there to show off more gameplay of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So we got that.
I think that's what people really want to see.
Yeah.
Is more Zelda.
Yeah.
People like went ape shit for Zelda.
Well, that's all we're getting. I mean, I want to see this new Mario game that they're talking about. Maybe we'll see it in January. Maybe January is when we're going to have more information on the Switch.
Ooh.
We got a prequel announced for Shovel Knight.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Shovel Knight.
It looks like it's going to be paying more tribute to Castlevania than anything. The music's very Castlevania-ish, Castlevania-like. It looks very spooky in comparison to the old one.
I wish those guys were at PSX. Last year they were.
Yeah, I wish they were. They weren't there at all.
They were so cool last year. They're like all standing around in their little tiny booth.
I think that was only the first year they were there.
The first year, yeah. And
Yeah, the
they're,
first year they
by
announced
themselves.
that's coming to PS4.
Yeah, and they're all like excited and alone and making money selling their shovels. Yeah.
I got one. And then we got... then Neil Druckmann won an award. Neil Druckmann and team for Uncharted 4, Naughty Dog, won an award. And when he got on stage, he thanked Amy Hennig for creating Uncharted. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Really?
Yeah, he paid tribute to her.
Was she there?
She wasn't there.
Oh, wow. She's
But
working on
I thought it was cool that he thanked her for creating in 1, 2, and 3.
Well, 1 is what grabbed everybody, so yeah.
I think 2 is what really grabbed everybody.
I know 2 is the one that I like the most out of the 1 and 2, but 1 is the one that grabbed people into that franchise. So
Yeah. And then Halo Wars 2 was announced, and they have a new AI that is much like Cortana. So kind of replacing Cortana. You remember Halo Wars 1? I think you played it. I think we played it.
It was a strategic game, right?
Yeah, an RTS.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean Cortana is replacing? I don't understand.
It's like an AI like Cortana.
The one that's playing.
It's very much like Cortana. Yeah.
That you're playing against?
That's helping you play.
Oh,
like kind of the Cortana role.
Okay. Yeah, before you were just playing yourself. You're like a general or...
I mean, we saw in Halo 5 there's other AIs, but still the main AI was Cortana. So when accepting an award for Overwatch, Tom paid his respects to Harambe, which I thought was kind of funny.
Was it for Game of the Year?
For Overwatch, not Game of the Year. This is another award that Overwatch won.
And then Gorilla?
Was it due to the character in it?
I think so.
Oh.
That they have a gorilla in the game.
What's the name again? I forgot his name. God damn it. The gorilla.
Harambe.
Might as well be Harambe.
Oh, can I mention one thing? I don't remember the name of the game, but the guy made a really nice speech. It was the one.
It was so awkward.
It was no, it wasn't.
It was awkward. I'm not saying that the guy's speech was awkward. The guy's speech was heartfelt. But have you guys ever seen this show on YouTube, Game Theories?
No.
It's a show where this guy talks about there's just a theory, a game theory about, and he has a theory about like how Mario is evil and kills everybody or something like that. Okay. He is on YouTube Red now, and he has this like reality TV show, and he's so annoying now. And he was out there presenting who would win this award for best indie game or something like that, like best indie narrative.
For this particular one, is this the same one you're talking about?
Yeah.
It was for like with a cause, like a game with a cause.
Okay. And this guy, and he was all upbeat and like making jokes about the name of the game.
Yeah.
He kind of like he couldn't say it right and laughed at the name of the game when he announced the winner. And then the guy gets on the stage and he's already really teary-eyed. He's like, he said, "I made this game for my son, who's no longer with us, and I'm so happy
he didn't
that this carried a narrative.
Calm yourself.
This carried a narrative to everybody, and that my son was able to live on and mean something to you guys too." And he was like nearly crying, and it was really, really heartfelt speech. Felt bad for the guy. And like I wanted to play him his game after he gave the speech. And this whole time, the guy from Game Theories was standing back there like, "Oh God."
It's a little awkward. I mean, what are you going to do? The guy's talking about his son, his dying son.
His dead son.
His dead son.
Or his dead
that's living
son.
On through the game.
It's like Eric Clapton's song.
Looks like the memory.
About angels. That's really weird. His son fell out a window.
Telltale showed off a trailer that they're doing a Guardian of the Galaxy game.
Oh, really?
I thought that was cool.
Look at Telltale coming out with a game.
Yeah, so I still need to play that Batman game. I saw it was on sale for the holiday. I didn't pick it up yet though.
Telltale doesn't have any like true characters other than nothing of their own. All their
Not
stories,
anymore.
Yeah,
They
all
used
their
to.
stories
Like
are all
Monkey Island,
jacked.
wasn't that them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let me jack everyone's stories.
I mean, they do a good job.
Hey, William, you know what my favorite part of the whole awards show was?
What?
The music.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of that, Doom. We got live Doom music. That was amazing. Yeah,
That was really cool. That was actually okay. So I sound really stupid right now, but I've never actually played Doom, obviously. But so I've never really heard the music. I had an idea of maybe what kind of music it was gonna be, but then hearing it actually live, it was like, oh my gosh, I'm in a rock concert right now. It was really cool.
Was it like this?
Yeah, this Doom game was very heavy metal, and they did a really good job with it.
They did.
So-
The guys were so into it. They was like, we came from far away. We're gonna put a show on.
Sorry.
And then you're gonna like this. They showed off a Mass Effect trailer. And it shows the female version of the main character. You know, the other one's, well, it's not Shepard anymore.
Oh.
But I would say...
Is it Sheparda?
I would say Femme Shep. It was Femme Shep, but it was not. So they showed off the female version of the main character. And they have the Explorer tank. Remember the Explorer tank for the first one? It's
Mako?
back. The Mako.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's back, and you can travel on planets, explore. That's kind of what they're pushing.
I remember Mako glitched once, and I flew off planet.
They showed up the combat, and the combat was very vertical.
Up and down?
Yeah.
The Mako?
No, like on foot.
Oh, wow.
You know, it was very horizontal before. Like you just go back and forth.
Yeah.
But maybe have some people on some rails. But you're actually like jumping up in the sky, coming down at people now. It's kind of crazy. There's wildlife on the planets that you go to that'll attack you. It's not just people now. So there's a lot more varieties.
So BioWare's adding more
Yeah,
crap.
they're learning that people want a lot of those options that were there from the first one. So you remember how the first one you explore the planets and but it's only people that you're fighting. There's nothing crazy. So it's really cool that they brought this stuff into the game.
Maybe more like Final Fantasy.
And then Game of the Year 2016, Overwatch.
Ooh, it would be. I would think that would be. It's a good call. I would have put it. Overwatch.
I agree. I mean, we won't have to judge it by like single player experience. It can be like just a good experience overall. It could be multiplayer. So I think it deserves it.
It's a really fun game. If I had a choice about Witcher was last year's Game of the Year.
Witcher 3, yeah.
So I would have put it against those two.
Witcher
but Witcher
3
was last year.
One last year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow.
I would have put it between that and Uncharted 4. I think Uncharted 4 was really good.
Uncharted 4 won for like story or something, right?
Yeah.
Uncharted 4 made me tear up.
Uncharted 4 won a lot of awards, but not
Good.
Game of the Year. A few years back, it was the Telltale Walking Dead series.
Really?
That was really surprising. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the.
Well, it was something kind of.
This is when they first were no longer on TV, I think. Oh no, this is the last year they were on TV.
Yeah, I remember that one because it was so innovative. People liked.
Yeah, well, the story was really, really good.
Yeah,
it brought a lot of tears. So from here, that's is there anything else you want to say about the Game Awards show, Ellie?
It was fun.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun.
I don't know.
I'll go again next year if I can.
It was a fun thing to watch.
I want to support Jeff Keighley now.
Maybe I'll be more educated and actually know the categories.
Best VR dance group.
I applaud Jeff Keighley and his attempts to carry forward this award show despite all the hardships it's had. And with that, let's get to
Listener confessions.
So the first fan mail we got, or confession we got, was tweeted to us by JMO1978.
At JMO.
Obviously at JMO. Anyway, he says, okay, here's my nerdy confession. Thanks to a freakish memory, I still have my final Castlevania 2 code memorized. CTMVW26KR5KNSIBK. Everything you need to beat Dracula. So if you have Castlevania 2, there's the code you need to beat Dracula. You're welcome. Courtesy of at JMO1978. What do you guys think?
That's lovely.
I wish I could remember my codes like that.
I wish I could remember my CD
You can't
codes.
remember your door code.
I wish I could I don't know, man. This is codes.
The one that everybody remembers is up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right, B, A, start.
There's only
select.
one code I will always remember. There is no cal level.
That was for Contra.
What?
Oh, that's from
That's from
StarCraft.
Diablo.
Oh, so StarCraft.
StarCraft.
Oh, that was a cheat code, yeah, for in StarCraft.
Yeah.
To get unlimited and food for thought. So you can get unlimited food and resources.
You know what cheat codes I know
What?
and will always remember? The ones for The Sims. Motherload and Rosebud.
Oh my god.
You know what doesn't have cheat codes? Arc, because it's a real man's game.
There is in the PC version though. Just letting you know.
Really?
Yeah, console commands.
Oh, that's just admin controls. That's server settings. That's not a cheat code. That's part of the game.
Okay. Well, all right. So I think the most famous is up, up, down, down, left, right, left, right.
No, it's
A, B,
definitely
start,
there is no cal level.
select. Well,
Up,
that's
down, left, right, die.
up, right, left, right, sideways.
Shout out.
It's
And
kind
it-
of like how you give me directions when we drive. Anyway, continue.
All right. So, Will, what's the next one?
So at ReGeekN tweeted us. Here's my confession. Sat and watched episode number 1 of Robotech from 1985 and ate so many member berries. You remember? I remember. God, I love that show.
That's not what that said.
Ow.
It's from South Park. Member
that
berries. I said member berries.
So, didn't we watch the new Robotech?
No. Robotech is something completely different.
Yeah, that's not Voltron. Whoa, that was bad.
Totally different.
Robotech is really good.
I haven't watched it in ages. I watched it when I was little. I probably have a lot of member berries if I watched it. I barely remember it.
Can I tell you something? I watched Robotech in Turkish because my dad watched it. So when I watched,
Is that what you watched? I thought it was Voltron.
I watched Voltron with him, Robotech, and Red.
Oh, your
Baron.
dad liked all the mech shows.
Yeah, and Red Baron. I don't know what Red Baron is, but it was called Red Baron. And
It was all about Robotech
and
back then.
The song went Red Baron because they can't say Baron, so they say Baron.
Robotech was a good one because it had a lot more elaborate story.
But good for you, Rika Khan. So, Emily, what's next?
There's
one?
another person. So many confessions. Anyways, at Maurice D. Moore 13 tweeted us. My nerd confession is, well, I still have written down cheat codes on paper from when I was 10. Don't know what game. That sounds like me.
Do you remember when your games used to come with pamphlets? I'm gonna go real quick with this, but your games used to come with pamphlets and
Game Genie.
Not Game Genie, but you remember how you used to open the game and there would be like a book inside to teach you how to play the game?
Oh yeah, I
And
never
then
used
on the
it.
back page it had notes and cheat codes, space,
I don't remember the cheat codes. I remember the notes because you'd have to write down for your save game.
and that was cool. No more. We don't have that anymore. But
Yeah.
moving on.
Too much cost.
So last one, we got Peter York emailed us in. Okay, here's 3. I dream of pixels. I spend more money on video games than Donald Trump spends on hair products. And I remember Tron.
How is remembering Tron a confession? We just got a new Luvia a while ago.
Well, did you remember Tron the original? They didn't specifically say Tron
love the
Legacy.
original.
Really, that's what you're picking on? You don't even think about the part where he says, I
Yeah,
dream
the
in pixels.
I know.
Dude, you know
like
how
Pixels,
awesome?
the movie that just came out, or
No,
like
fool.
Pixels.
No,
Pixels.
like that's pretty cool. I mean, if somebody dreams in pixels,
I wish I could dream in Pixels.
You know what could happen
It
if you
looked
could
like
dream
that
in
one
pixels? You could actually redesign the world.
You guys remember that game that came out on PlayStation 3? Where they had the big sword that came out? It was like a tribute to Zelda. It was
Excalibur?
a dungeon crawler. Sohail was the only one that would know.
I don't
That's
remember
fucked
the
up.
name.
Why wouldn't I know?
Because you're not.
You never played PlayStation 3, remember? You said you were an Xbox.
Damn, they
Yes,
paid
it's
attention.
How's his rabbit?
But I think that's interesting. You dream in pixels. I think that's crazy. And then spending more money on video games than Donald Trump spends money on hair products is a lie, because Donald Trump spends a shit ton of money on hair
And
products.
he probably spends on expensive hair products, not just any kind of hair product.
I have,
I got a
I have the
question.
name though. 3D Dot Heroes was the name of it.
Isn't everything we see technically pixels? I mean, if you take an image, right, and it looks like a normal picture, and you blow it up really, really,
Well,
really,
that's
really
a
zoomed in,
digital pixel.
you'll see
Everything we see on it. Everything we see on a TV is pixels.
I mean, think about it.
You are smoking some crack. You are smoking some real.
You're not. If you're a robot, maybe, but you're not
mean,
a robot.
You don't have cameras for eyes, son.
When has your eyes ever like zoomed in that hard? You haven't, right? So how would you not know if what you're seeing is the really zoomed out version?
When have
of
your
pixels?
eyes zoomed in that hard? Think of that statement and let's rewind it.
Peter York, right back to us. Are you a robot?
Good question.
Also, email what games you play. We're interested in your
Actually,
vast, collection.
That's true, and I also love Tron. So Tron, the first Tron, go back.
I love Tron so much. It's my favorite.
Yeah, man, keep dreaming in pixels.
So Will, if I wanted somebody like my friend to give us a confession, how would I do it?
So if we didn't get your confession this week, listen in next week. We might get it then. You can tweet us, you can message us on the Facebook, or email us at contact@nerdconfessions.net. So with that, we'll get into...
Question of the week.
So guys, Rogue One is coming out. I'm really excited for it.
Yay.
Will the new Star Wars story, Rogue One, be better than Episode 7 because it has more creative freedom? Or will it be just a bad cash-in? Predictions.
Why would it have more creative freedom?
Because they don't have to live up to recreating the franchise.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say they have even more? Because now they have to do the old story justice.
No, that'd be Episode 7. They have to do the old story.
No. Because this is
its own story.
No, I know, but this is still a part of the original 3.
No, it's not.
shows.
It's something separate.
Is it not in the timeline of the original?
It's in the timeline,
He's
but
right.
it's a separate story.
You're right. Yeah, it is in the timeline. It's before the fourth.
But
movie.
that doesn't mean
after 3.
So that means wouldn't they have to make sure that like the flow makes sense?
The only thing they have to
for
make
those
sure it
3?
makes sense is that they get the Death Star plans. That's it.
No, but they can't fuck it up and make it feel like it's the 8th movie. It's got to feel like it's part of that genre.
No,
of
I
those
see
3.
your comments, and I know where Will's coming with it, and I know where you're coming from. It. You're trying to say that it should continue the flow of the story. So between 3 and 4, there should be a continuity that.
But
didn't
it's its
break.
own entity. It's not even the same characters.
No, I know the characters
But the
on the same,
timeline
but you still get
is in that point.
You still have,
but the only
hints
thing
of
that
Darth Vader and
going to feed into the timeline is that they take the Death Star plans.
That's true. That's it. But at the same time, what he's talking about creative freedom is that they have more abilities to make up more stories of how the Death Star plans got to somewhere. So instead of, when George Lucas said that he had written everything down, we know he did not.
When they made Episode 7, they were trying to recreate the franchise. That's why they copied the formula of Episode 4
but they could have had
so much.
But they must have had creative freedom because now you get to write your own story because it wasn't really a story.
Well, they had to pay
there.
tribute to the old characters.
Yeah, that's still they do that in here too. There's
They only
Darth
have
Vader,
they have a small appearance of Darth Vader.
Yeah, but
I have the answer to that question.
You have
though.
not seen
What
the
is the
movie.
answer, Ellie?
It's gonna be better. You know why?
Why?
You want
Well, now you got me on
because
suspense.
Diego Luna.
Okay.
I don't know who that is. Is it the guy that has that Hispanic accent?
Yes.
It's going to be better because of AT-ATs.
I think it's going to be an interesting story. From what I remember, I am reading a book based off of what Rogue One's supposed to be about. But if it's what I'm reading in the
Expanded
book,
universe story.
yeah, it's just was released this last year. So if it's kind of what it is, it's going to be a very interesting story. From what I think it's going to be is creative freedom that is given to it more than Episode 7. I think it's going to make money, but I don't think it's going to make anywhere near Episode 7 money. And I also think that, or The Force Awakens money, I think it's going to make less money. And on top of it, it's going to be not so much every single person going to see it for Star Wars sake.
So negative.
I'm sorry, I still disagree with you. There's no way that has more creative freedom. It just doesn't.
Okay, that's your.
It has to have
opinion.
stormtroopers. It has to have the Empire. It has to have Darth Vader.
Why? Why does it have to?
Because it's in between the 2 movies, man. Whereas 7 is a whole different story.
Did 7 not have to have stormtroopers?
They had something else, didn't they?
No, it had stormtroopers.
No, okay, but they had like a whole new villain. They had new antagonists.
They had a Sith, just like in Episode 4.
No, I get what
That's
you
like saying there's wizards in Harry Potter. Yeah,
you guys are arguing the same point.
No, it's the same
on different
formula that they
sides.
followed for Episode 4. They had
the
the
creative
they had the big
freedom-
thing. They had the character arc of just being discovering yourself in
Yeah,
the desert.
but I'm
and then
talking creative
you have
freedom.
your fall, and then you have your rise, and then you destroy the
that's
thing.
structure. I'm saying
No,
creative freedom.
I'm talking about the creative freedom with the structure. What do you think I'm talking about?
No, I'm talking about creative freedom of
You
what
think I'm
they
talking
can
about?
choose.
Oh, they can have different armor. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the story. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the character.
What you're talking about, you guys are arguing the same thing, and you just don't see it. I see it from when I'm watching you guys. He's talking about just the story, and you're talking about elements of the story, like pieces. Like, yeah, they cannot change Darth Vader at all,
and they cannot change. They cannot change the way the stormtroopers look. I'm not talking about the story.
But he's not stating that you can't change that. He's saying that the story only. So they have to. All they need to have in this movie to make sense is somehow the Death Star plans needs to get to from the Separatists to Darth Vader's team to the Empire.
Take out the fact that you're creating new. Take out the fact that you're creating new stormtroopers. You're creating new stuff. They're creating more new stormtroopers in this actually. Take out the fact that you need to fit it in between that. To think about how much more they can do with the story compared to what they could have done with Episode 7 if they're paying tribute to Episode 4.
Why would they? I don't understand.
Because
Episode 7, everything was new though.
It wasn't new. It was following the formula of Episode 4.
It was written. It was the formula.
That's what I'm talking about. Is the formula. They have more creative freedom with the formula.
He's talking about story build. So
you're gonna have the same in Rogue One. It's gonna be some person, some shit's gonna happen. They're gonna be like, holy crap! It's gonna be like, oh, here's how it's going down. Then resolution and shit. Death Star. It's the same form with every movie.
You had the most generic.
That is the most generic
I've ever heard in my life.
That's how it is.
There's some stuff. It goes down. It comes back, and it's done.
That's how it works.
That is not how it works.
No, but I think the guy that wrote the original, Episode 4 and 5 wrote Episode 7. He's still alive, so he wrote it. And he's always about he was about original,
George Lucas?
Not George Lucas didn't write the.
I'm just saying,
direct
this
movie.
Rogue One is still in the time setting of the original 3.
He's right.
It has a lot of
it's pre-3. It's pre-original 3.
Yeah. It has the story as far as the Empire's the main bad guys. You have
and
the
they have the Empire as the main bad guys. Episode 7.
There's not a lot of Jedis left. They're all dead. There's a whole lot of crap going on.
There's at least one force sensitive character.
I said most are dead. We don't know. Again, they can always fix
Vader.
it.
And there's at least 2 force sensitive characters.
There you go.
Yeah, but it's pretty much just like it's in. They don't have to. They can't just be like, oh yeah, there was a whole other Jedi.
The main character is probably a spy.
No,
and
but
needs to infiltrate
is she a
the
Bothan
Empire.
spy?
Yeah, but I mean, look, it's still in the same storyline though. They can't just suddenly go, oh, there was a whole other Jedi temple on another planet.
So is Episode 7 in a separate storyline?
No.
It can be.
It has
way more freedom. They could have easily just
honestly,
said
it's not part of the Star Wars timeline.
Everything is part of the Star Wars timeline. As long as you add it in there, it's
the 7th movie not have just gone, oh yeah, Luke rebuilt everything.
Do they not have new stormtroopers in Rogue One?
But they're not stormtroopers anymore because they're not part of the Empire.
And the Empires of the Empire is something else.
Like
more creative freedom.
In Rogue One, do they not have new stormtroopers?
Oh, they have new looking designs.
They have like 3 new stormtroopers.
But you guys are arguing the same point, and it's bothering me so much. Because he's arguing about new elements, which there is not that many, and you're talking about story.
We're talking about creative freedom, right?
You're talking about story. He's talking about story,
creative
and you're
freedom
talking
with the story.
about elements.
No, the story.
Yeah, they're not going to put. I agree with Tommy. I agree with Tommy. They're not going to put a lot of crazy stuff in it, other than maybe ships.
Yeah,
and
that's about it.
Ships and people.
We have like at least 3 new stormtroopers.
Stormtroopers are suits, man. They're the same jump.
Yeah,
what?
They're suits.
Jedi just wear cloaks.
Those guys are all suits. One guy has a gun. The other guy's got a flamethrower. The other guy's got a toilet seat on his head. They all look. Yeah, they all do the different things.
It's all going to be the same thing. Empire's
suit.
Taking over. There's a band of rebels. They're going to find a way. There's going to be some girl, and that's about it. There's not going to be like a whole other Jedi army and all this shit like they could do with 7.
I don't.
Freedom.
Well, they didn't do with 7. 7's done.
I think the creative freedom that was given to 7.
7 followed the formula of 4.
7 had to follow a formula to make.
They wanted to
keep the Star Wars fans happy.
It's done.
If they went there and they said, "Hey, we're going to make something brand new," people would have been.
But it had more creative freedom.
Does it have more creative freedom than Episode 8? I don't think so. But does it have more creative than Episode 7? I think so.
I think Rogue One has creative freedom because they said we're not going to give you that much money as Force Awakens is going to get to make. And on top of that, we don't expect you to make a lot of money. So here's the money we think you're going to do.
The creative freedom is not going to be as more than 7. It's just not. No matter how you look at it.
Well, that's his opinion. You don't have to fight him. So that's his opinion. Your opinion, it does. Ellie, what's your opinion on the matter?
I said it was going to be better because of Diego Luna.
And my opinion is that they're going to have creative freedom to do a lot of things that George Lucas said he wrote down, but I don't think he wrote down at all. I think he winged the whole set. So there's going to be creative freedom, meaning story. They're going to add elements in there that will disappear in episode 4 that you never would have seen because you don't know the timeline. You know how many years it was between building the Death Star or not. Anyway, moving on. Do I think it's a cash cow? Yes, I think it's a cash grab. They don't need to put a new Star Wars movie in every year. They decided to do that because they wanted to keep people going. What people loved about Star Wars was that there's a small clique of people. Well, there's a group of people that love Jedis. There's a
lot of people who love.
But there's
Jedis.
a lot of people that love
here's a fact.
Stormtroopers.
Creative freedom. You expect to see a lot of Jedis in episode 7, episode 8. You expect to see at least one Jedi. If it's not Star Wars, unless you have the Jedi, right? In this, they don't even have to have one Jedi necessarily.
How is that creative freedom?
That's creative freedom.
They could.
Nobody expects to see a Jedi.
You want to know what creative freedom is? Is when they take a lightsaber and have it shoot out of the left and right side of it like it's an Excalibur. That's creative freedom in your face.
That is not creative freedom.
So, it is.
Moving on. I think a lot of people like Star Wars because Star Wars was very intimate. People fell in love with the story. People fell in love with the characters. And it didn't have a lot of movies out. And the lore was there, and people were able to build their own lore with it. And then now when you're building all these movies, you're kind of like setting a lot of stuff into stone, which I think hurt some people's like thoughts of things that may have happened after a movie or before a movie. It's kind of killed.
They totally destroyed the expanded universe. Like,
oh yeah, they killed it.
Growing up, I was into the expanded universe. This is all done. No more.
Yeah. But they're kind of following it still.
But at the same time, it's really cool to have movies. So,
yeah.
Well,
what do you think, guys? Do you think it's a cash cow or not? He didn't give me an answer.
Hell yeah, it's a cash cow. What are you, nuts? Doing a story in the middle of 2 other stories just for the sake of having a story? It's called a cash cow.
Without the controversial statement of creative freedom, will it be better, or is it just a bad cash-in?
What?
I think it'll be better.
What do you mean? Say it again. What was your question?
If I take the original question and take out the creative freedom part,
okay.
The question is, will it be better than episode 7, or will it just be a bad cash-in?
Better in what way?
As a better story, better movie.
I mean, you can't tell.
Well, obviously, because you haven't seen it.
It's a prediction.
Prediction-wise, it's in. I mean, you can't though because
I don't think it's going to be better than episode 7.
How can you not make a prediction? It's a prediction. Just make your best guess.
You know, I'm going to be crazy and say I think it's going to be better because it's going to be different and it's going to have Diego Luna and it's going to be better. Okay, shut up.
No, it's not going to be better.
Dude,
because
I couldn't even understand what Diego Luna was saying in an interview once.
What?
I didn't understand a thing he said once in an interview.
Good, because that's how the movie's going to be.
No, it's not going to be better because you're not going to have that 3-second clip of
Luke
Skywalker and going, just staring.
Did you know that was going to be there before you watched the movie, before it was premiered? No, you didn't.
I did know it because I have Jedi mind powers.
Anyway, moving on.
You can't argue with the logic today. It's not working, Ellie.
I think
it's Arkin.
Arkin is logic.
I think that it's not going to be as good as episode 7 because episode 7 had a lot more players at hand that were keeping the story and everything pretty tight. I think this movie may have a little bit of flaws here and there. They kind of followed episode 7 with having a female protagonist, female like heroine again, and I think it's going to do. I don't think it's going to do as much money as episode 7. I mean episode 7. I don't think it's going to make as much money. And I think it's going to have a lot.
Not even creative freedom. Female protagonist. It's not creative. She had a dog as the main leader.
They didn't have to have a female protagonist.
But I think that it's not going to make as much money, and I don't think that it's gonna garner a lot more criticism.
Just like the female protagonist didn't have to be a Jedi this time.
I think people are going to watch it because it's Star Wars and because it's being hyped. People are going to watch it. I think a big factor to this is going to be Donnie, what's his name? That guy?
Donnie Glover?
Yeah, because he's the blind dude with the force sensitive or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. He's the Asian guy?
Yeah.
Oh, Donnie Glover is going to be the new, the young Lando.
Not him. I'm talking about the Jedi, because in this story,
the guy that played Ip Man.
Yes, he's going to be in there, and he has a sort of Jedi-like powers. So that's going to be the draw.
3 Force sensitive guys.
So that'll be the draw.
Because there's an Asian guy too.
Yeah, so that and Darth Vader will be the draw. As far as a lot of people who
forgot about the Asian guy.
The people who like the first 3 movies.
There's an Asian guy.
The episode 1, 2, and 3 for the Jedi fights and stuff. They'll come in.
Yen.
Yeah, they'll be dragged in for that. Whereas the people who like the 4, 5, 6 for the story of the whole smuggler and all that stuff and Han Solo, they'll be pulled in for that genre of.
Did anybody see the trailer? I'm going to jump in the trailer real quick. Did anybody see the trailer for this movie?
I saw the first trailer.
They like got Donnie Yen, like someone dubbed him, and it was terrible. Like, you almost shot me.
It was really bad.
Really bad. But it's really weird. But anyway, moving on up.
Well, that wraps up this week's confession. Join us next week for more discussions and opinions on things that pique our interest. If you have any confessions you would like to discuss, feel free to send them our way. As always, we want to thank our listeners and followers for tuning in, supporting us, share us, like us, review us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, whatever you want to do. Every bit helps us grow. And don't forget, you can find our previous episodes and bonus content on our website, nerdconfessions.net. This is Nerd Confessions, signing off.
Help us set up a giveaway.
Ideas.
Diego Luna is in Star Wars.
Please.
Rogue One.
Creative freedom.
Cheat codes.
By the way, we love you all.
David Jaffe.
Logging out of Nerd Confessions. Connections terminated. Transmission over.